Parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Shopping for replacement windows in Fayette County? Metropolitan Window Company elevates your shopping experience.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, a family-owned and operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you'll experience personalized knowledge, expertise, and professionalism from our first visit to your home until our craftsmen complete your installation.
We're the window company that people want in their homes, and our exclusive Infinity by Marvin 100% fiberglass windows are the windows people love.
They're built for life. They are the strongest, longest-lasting windows you can buy.
We have a great selection of colors and finishes. We service the entire Fayette County area and will come to your home. Visit us at metropolitanwindows.com or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
This season's newly announced Super Bowl halftime performer is opening up about the honor.
The beach is my hometown beach.
Now that the cat, or the rabbit's out of the bag, Bad Bunny says he's proud of his image sitting on a goal post in front of the ocean.
I'm really excited for my friends, my family, Puerto Rico, all the Latino people around the world, my culture.
The Puerto Rican reggaeton star on Apple Music's halftime headliner special.
I'm figuring out yet what I'm gonna do on this show, but it's gonna be good.
Critics say Bad Bunny was a poor halftime choice because his songs aren't in English and he didn't make stops in the U.S. during his residency to spare fans from potential ICE raids. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Beach vacations have been ruined on Spain's famous tourist islands like Ibiza. The beaches are closed after torrential rains and floods prompted the country's highest weather alert. I'm Cammie McCormick, CBS News.
The award-winning local, district, and statewide news is being brought to you by Duck Hollow Golf Club and Bogey's Restaurant, conveniently located on Duck Hollow Road, just off Route 40 or New Salem Road. Call 724-439-3150 for tee times or restaurant information. And now the news.
Good afternoon, sunny and 75 at 5:05 on this Tuesday. I'm Nick Barczyk from the Davis & Davis Studios. Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law voted Fayette County's best law firm 2024, your local station. 590 and 101.1 WMBS. The Weather Watch and sports on the way in a bit. Former Greene County District Attorney David Russo and his chief investigator Zachary Sams were scheduled to appear in court today, but neither Sams nor the attorney showed up at 9 a.m., and the judge was then forced to issue a warrant for their arrest. Sams showed up shortly after the warrant was issued and was taken into custody. Russo is expected to appear in court November 5th. Russo had been charged with 8 counts, including retaliation, official oppression, and conspiracy, with Sams facing similar charges. The Attorney General's office says that Russo and Sams used the power of the DA's office against political enemies and to bolster Russo's re-election campaign efforts. Russo is accused of going after people who criticized him and filing criminal charges that were not supposed to be filed. GOP leaders in the Pennsylvania Senate today so they plan to introduce legislation to forgive the interest payments on Treasury loans designed to help county governments and Head Start providers get through Pennsylvania's budget stalemate, which has been going on nearly 100 days now. State Senators Kim Ward, Joe Pittman, and Scott Martin so they plan to introduce legislation in the state Senate to forgive the interest payments on the Treasury loans. It would then need to pass the state House and be signed by Governor Shapiro. Last week, State Treasurer Stacey Garrity announced her intention to lend up to $500 million to county governments and Head Start providers struggling due to the budget impasse. Entities will be required to pay back what they borrowed plus nearly 5% interest within 15 days of receiving state funds after the budget impasse ends. Ms. Garrity said she was required by state law to charge the interest. Pennsylvania graduates that carry some of the most student debt in the United States, according to a new WalletHub study. The report ranked all 50 states, finding that Pennsylvania students have the third biggest amount of debt in the country behind Mississippi and New Hampshire. Outstanding college loan balances stand at around $1.7 trillion, which is an average of about $39,000 per borrower. And the Pennsylvania Supreme Court is ruling that voters must be notified if they make any mistakes on their mail-in ballots. The court ruled 4-3 recently. The counties must make voters aware if there are any issues that could lead to their ballot getting thrown out, like a missing date or signature. The decision was made in a lawsuit filed against Washington County last year after county officials announced it would not notify voters of any potentially disqualifying ballot errors. The majority ruling said the court must interpret the election code in a way that favors the fundamental right to vote and enfranchises rather than disenfranchises the electorate. And we're celebrating a day that's going to bring out the inner child in you. Bree Tennis with more on National Chewing Gum Day.
Toss the manners and blow some bubbles as we celebrate a pastime dating back to ancient civilizations. Chewing gum was the first item ever purchased with a barcode. We did that back in 1974. Colgate says it improves oral hygiene. If you chew it while peeling onions, you might not cry. It lowers stress, helps you stay on budget while shopping, and it will not stay in your body for 7 years if you swallow it. But it may in the environment because it's not biodegradable. I'm Bree Tennis.
More next on WMBS.
Bogey's Restaurant in Mallard Landing, located at the Duck Hollow Golf Club, will be offering the banquet hall with no rental fees September through December, Monday through Thursday. This is the perfect spot for any type of party or meeting, including office holiday gatherings, engagement parties, or retirement parties. You could enjoy catering from the fantastic new menu at Bogey's Restaurant, which is now under new management. For information on bookings, call 724-439-3150. That's 724-439-3150. You will be happy you made the call. Duck Hollow Golf Course and Bogey's Restaurant will remain open during the fall season. Call 724-880-9082. That's 724-880-9082 for golf tee times or for restaurant information today. Or check out Duck Hollow on Facebook for weekly specials.
It is 5:09, the WMBS Weather Watch on the way. In sports, the Steelers have their bye week after their win over the Vikings, and that was in Ireland, 24-21. Steelers now at 3-1, and they're entering their bye week, taking on the Browns October the 12th, and the Steelers announcing today that Calvin Austin will be most likely able to play in that game. The wide receiver was banged up in the game Sunday. Baseball playoffs get underway today with 4 games in the wild card round. Pirates announcing yesterday that Donnie Kelly will be the manager going forward. The interim tag taken off of Kelly, who was brought in to be the new manager in May. And the Penguins have a preseason game this evening as their regular season will get underway next week. In the NFL, we'll bring you our next game on Thursday, the 49ers and the Rams, 7:30 Thursday evening to begin Week 5.
The award-winning local, district, and statewide news has been brought to you by Duck Hollow Golf Club and Bogey's Restaurant. Call 724-439-3150 for tee times or restaurant information today.
The Weather Watch is being brought to you by State Farm agent Nathan Ferguson. Call Nate at 724-438-7611 for life, home, car insurance, and more. Get a free quote now. And right now, sunny and 78. Nice autumn day. Went up to 81 today with the overnight low at 52. 75 with sun Wednesday for the 1st of October. Should be a beautiful day. Low down to 48. 75 Thursday. Nothing but sun for the weekend. 77 on Friday. The overnight low down to 48. 81 Saturday. 82 sunny Sunday. Low at 54. And 83 on Monday. Beautiful sunny weather on tap through the week as we go into the new month. Right now, sunny and 79 at 5:11 on a Tuesday. Good afternoon from the Davis & Davis studios at WMBS. I'm Nick Barczyk. Stock update from Jenny Montgomery Scott, then hour 1 of the afternoon drive show with Doug Saltzman. Doug on the air until 8 tonight. All on the way next on WMBS. The Weather Watch has been brought to you by State Farm agent Nathan Ferguson. Nate is there for you. Call 724-438-7611 for life, home, car insurance, and more.
Good evening. This is Angie Dank of Jenny Montgomery Scott here in Uniontown, bringing you today's closing stock market report. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 81.8 points, closing at 46,398. The Nasdaq Composite was up 68.9 points, closing at 22,660. And the S&P 500 Index was up 27.3 points, closing at 6,688. Among companies of local interest, Apple closed at $254.63, up 20 cents. Amazon, $219.57, down $2.60. Cisco, $68.42, up 70 cents. Boeing, $215.80, down $1.28. Caterpillar, $477.12, up $5.51. Disney closed at $114.48, down 30 cents. ExxonMobil, $112.73, down $1.49. First Energy, $45.82, up 41 cents. Johnson & Johnson, $185.39, up $3.77. Home Depot closed at $405.30, down $1.50. Intel, $33.55, down 93 cents. McDonald's closed at $303.85, up 86 cents. Meta Platforms, $734.38, down $9.02. PNC Financial Services, $200.90, down 95 cents. Raytheon Technologies, $167.30, up $3.67. Rockwell Automation, $349.41, up $4.88. Tesla, $444.72, up $1.51. Verizon, $43.93, up 68 cents. And Walmart closed at $103.04, down 4 cents. Recapping, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 81.8 points, closing at 46,398. The Nasdaq Composite was up 68.9 points, closing at 22,660. And the S&P 500 Index was up 27.3 points, closing at 6,688. From the Uniontown office of Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC, where we serve all of your investment needs, this is Angie Danko.
Faith in Blue is back. The annual kickball tournament at Bailey Park in Uniontown connects local law enforcement and faith leaders with the community in an inspiring and family-friendly setting. It is an event that promotes unity, community pride, and most importantly, fun. Faith in Blue will feature free food, games for the kids, photo ops, and, of course, the kickball tournament. To register players, which include children ages 6 through 12, in the October 11th tournament, visit myfaithassembly.churchcenter.com.
Thurby Riverside Ford announces the C Ford in a new light sales event. Check out these special deals.
The 2025 new Ford F-150 XLT Hybrid 4x4 has 3.9% for 60 months plus $3,000 in retail bonus cash. How about the best-selling SUV in America? The 2025 new Ford Explorer has 3.9% for 60 months plus $1,500 open bonus cash. And the king of all trucks, the new 2025 Super Duty XL 4x4 has 3.9% for 60 months or $1,500 retail customer cash.
It's time to see Ford in a new light. Did I mention the new 2025 Ford Maverick Crew Cab XL all-wheel drive starting at just $29,065?
Thurby's Riverside Ford, your 26-time Ford Presidential Award-winning dealer, located 1 mile past the casino at Nemacolin. Hurry, offer ends September 30th. Ford Motor Credit financing required. See Joey, Jimmy, Sammy, or Ashley for your Thurby deal.
If it's time for a change in decor in your home, let Chesler's Fine Furniture work their magic. Chesler's offers the finest in name brand home furnishings by famous makers and quality service to back up every sale. Chesler's has curios, consoles, and accent pieces that will underline your sense of style. Bedroom suits by Riverside, Pulaski, Von Bassett, Home Elegance, and others in many finishes and styles. There are living room suits by Best Upholstery, Craftmaster, Lancer, King Hickory, and Lazy Boy, each offering a distinct flair of comfort and design in assorted styles and fabrics. The largest selection of dinette sets in your choice of wood finishes. Chesler's also has exceptional bedding by the names you know and trust in your choice of size and firmness. And Chesler's offers genuine Lazy Boy recliners and living rooms for pure relaxing comfort. Delivery, layaway, and credit terms are available. Chesler's Fine Furniture, Route 51 in Uniontown, where customers send their friends. Attention, active and retired coal miners. Have you been screened for black lung? Here at the Black Lung Clinic at Centerville Clinics, we offer yearly screenings, diagnosis, education, and treatment options to help you live a fuller, healthier life. We provide care regardless of your ability to pay. Call Centerville Clinics today at 724-632-6801. Do it today.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest, now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
It's the Afternoon Drive Show on your local station, WMBS Uniontown. I'm Doug Sultan. That's Nick Barczyk. 75 degrees right now outside our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law studios. Nick, how are you?
Oh, great, Doug. I missed you. I haven't seen you in a while.
It has been a while. I did the shows last week remotely. They were short shows for the Pirate game.
We're between seasons now, between Pirates and Penguins, so you're going to be hearing a whole lot of Doug.
Although the Penguin season's only days away.
That's true. That's crazy. Feels like it just ended.
We're going to have Bob Grove on the show tomorrow to give us his preseason analysis.
Yeah, let's move off the Pirates. Let's not even talk about that. Let's go straight to the Penguins and Steelers.
Although we should do some Pirates postseason analysis, I suppose.
When you're 71 and 91, no. Let's just forget it happened.
Well, then, Nick, you better not listen to part of our show today because at 6:40 p.m., we're going to have Pirates beat writer Noah Hiles.
Oh, all right.
Noah Hiles from the Post-Gazette. He did a column just yesterday entitled, Pirates Talk is Cheap. It's Time for Action.
Nice. He's a beat reporter. He gets to go to all the games.
Yes,
that's pretty
he does.
cool.
So we're going to talk to Noah.
Even when the team's bad, that's pretty good.
At 6:40. And, there was a Steeler game recently.
I heard that.
It was over at my brother's house, bright and early with bagels.
It was so early. 9:30. I'm barely getting in from the party.
I thought it'd be cool to talk to somebody who was actually at the game.
Oh.
So we're going to talk to Matt Smith. That sounds like one of those fake names, right?
It does.
One of those names that you use when you check into a hotel or something. Matt Smith.
If you're famous, which we're not, yeah.
He is, now here's a cool title, Chief Growth Officer. I don't know what that means. With the Allegheny Conference on Community Development. He was at the game.
Wow.
And so we're going to talk to him about just not so much the analysis of the game. In fact, not at all on the game itself. We've heard enough of that.
And now his kids can't go to college because of how much he had to spend to go to that game.
I have a feeling maybe his employer paid for it.
Yeah, I would hope.
I don't know. So we're going to talk to him, sort of the environment, what it was like. It certainly looked like a home game, even though it was a few miles away.
It looked like fun.
A little bit east of here, and a crazy end of the game, for heaven's sake. Some bizarre calls.
Yeah.
It let the Mike Tomlin haters have something to talk about.
Oh, yes.
Why don't kick a field goal? I don't quite know at that point of the game.
A win and a 3-1 start, just not good enough for the hoi polloi, is it? You got to criticize everything.
So we're going to talk to Matt Smith about that.
Not to sound hokey, but the other team wants to win too. I mean,
exactly.
I mean, they came back. Yeah, that's not an indictment on the Steelers. The Vikings also wanted to win the game.
Right. But that was they interviewed Aaron Rodgers after the game, and he said, it's a long flight home. It's a lot better when you win.
I would say, yeah.
It's like somebody would say the rookie year, not when you're
That's
43.
True. But if you do blow a 24-6 lead, maybe you stay in Ireland. Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing they did win.
Right. And we haven't talked to Tim Murtaugh in a while. That name's familiar to Pittsburgh fans. He's the grandson of Pirate great manager, the late Danny Murtaugh. We're going to talk to him. We check in with him, every 9 months or so as to why the Pirates, why the Pirates' former manager should be in the Hall of Fame, as he should be. What are you giggling about?
No, just every 9 months, like a pregnancy term. We talked to Tim Murtaugh, yeah.
I suppose, I didn't think about that being every 9 months. Jeff Gilbert's going to join us. He's going to talk about the end of electric vehicle tax credits. Mike Lyon's going to talk to us about a bunch of different stuff. And how about this dreadful situation up in Michigan? Grand Blanc, Michigan. The church shooting and fire.
Yeah, just awful.
It's incredible when I saw that fire. It reminded me of that disaster decades ago down in Texas.
In Waco?
In Waco, yeah. That's what it sort of reminded me of.
What's going on? You've been around a lot of years, Doug. It's crazy out there, isn't it?
It's beyond understanding.
Yeah.
Someone decides this is how I'm going to resolve something.
Yeah.
I don't quite get it. So we're going to talk to CBS News crime and public safety beat leader, Anna Schechter, coming up here in just a couple of moments. But a full show today. We're with you till 8 o'clock tonight and tomorrow to make up for the fact that we weren't with you much last week. But now you're stuck with me tonight, Nick. Almost 3 hours I'll be sitting around.
Why not? A little past the
doing
time.
Nothing. But again, tomorrow Penguins have a preseason game tonight.
They do.
And what's today? Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I think.
There you go.
And
yes, you're here because we can't carry that or the baseball playoffs. So we're stuck with you, Doug. No, we can't.
we can't do the playoffs
No,
because it's ESPN radio.
Or Westwood One affiliate.
Yeah,
so we got to get
that's-
Westwood One to carry baseball, then we could carry it and really never hear you ever again. No, we're kidding, but yeah,
the
playoffs are fun.
Playoffs started today.
4 games. My dad's watching it right now on his day off.
Well, shouldn't he call in and give us an update?
That's right. Now, what's the Padres Cubs score, Pops?
Well, he could describe what's going on the TV over the radio.
That'd be great. I'm sure that's not illegal or anything.
That would violate some rule somewhere
I'm
down
sure.
the line.
I'm sure.
So all our guests, as always, will be joining us on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. And if you want to call in at any given point when we have open time, 724-438-4593. But again, Nick, you have your duty over there. I have mine over here to interview the people. Yours is to get them on the phone.
That's true. Is it time for me to do
we're
my
just
duty?
about getting to that time.
It's a little early.
I guess you're
All
right.
right.
It's a whole minute early, for heaven's sake.
I'm sure Anna's cooking dinner.
We
Or
don't want to jump the gun. Now, I always have contests around here, predicting seasons and whatnot. Bill Madden won the prediction right on the nose for the Pirate season at 71 and 91. So good for Bill Madden. He had that one right. And did you submit your predictions for the bracket?
The World Series.
Bracket? Not just the World Series, the playoffs too.
All right. Well, can I just give you my World Series pick now? Do I have to
That
fill out a
doesn't
whole
count
bracket?
yet. Well, it's
All
too
right.
late now. The games have already been played.
I have no idea what happened in the games.
Baloney.
It's the first round.
Wait a minute.
The 4 best teams get buys anyway, and
You're the newsman. You probably know exactly what's going on.
Oh, exactly.
Which
yeah.
is why you hesitated.
I'll go Brewers Mariners. That's my World Series pick. There you go. Brewers win it.
You know, they're both in the same league. But
They're
good
not.
try. Yeah. I was going to see if you fell for that.
They used to be.
They did.
The Brewers were in the American League.
Right? And,
Look at you.
The Astros, of course, used to be in the National League.
They did. They did.
Now I think they're called the Texans.
I think they are. It's like the football team. Yeah. The Texans. That is a funny name. It'd be like if they were the Pittsburgh Pennsylvanians.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I would think I'd be upset. Well, it doesn't matter. I never quite understand why they call certain teams, like it used to be the Florida Marlins when there were other teams in Florida. That didn't make any sense to me. Minnesota Vikings, that makes sense. There's not another football team in Minnesota. But, so the Steelers are off to a 3-1 start. Penn State didn't make it the other day. That was a frustrating game to watch. But the Pirates, I thought they were going to do better this year. I didn't think they were going to hit 500, but I thought upper 70s. They had won 76 games the last 2 seasons. And this season they went down to 71. So again, Noah Wiles is going to join us during the 6 o'clock hour. But joining us right now on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, CBS News crime and public safety beat leader, the best title so far, I think, from CBS, Anna Schechter. Anna, thank you very much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm doing great, and thank you so much. And you got that mouthful of a title right, so well done.
I took a big breath beforehand so I could get straight through it without hesitation. On obviously a serious note, this disaster up in Michigan, again, a head-scratcher as to how someone decides, okay, this is the way I'm going to solve a problem by doing something like this. That fire was so overwhelming. It reminded me of what happened in Waco decades ago. That's what the first thing I saw. That's what it reminded me of. If you remember the Waco disaster down there.
Absolutely, and it essentially consumed the entire building, which made it even more difficult for investigators and fire marshals and everyone trying to recover people. And thankfully, the death toll wasn't higher because given that blaze, it certainly could have been. In terms of people, trapped inside. So it was horrific, but it did look, just based on those pictures, that it could have been so much worse. But still horrific for these families, this community. Still reeling. We still don't have a lot of information about victims and survivors, but that's sort of starting to trickle out. My team's been looking into the investigative side, into motive, and learning a little bit. I spoke with a local city council candidate yesterday over the phone who had actually been canvassing the area and had a long conversation with the perpetrator, Sanford, the week before, last Monday, where he espoused anti-Mormon views and really was almost like quizzing him on his views on Mormonism. And takeaway was the way that this individual described the conversation and Sanford's views was that, he believed that Mormons were the Antichrist, and he alluded to a previous relationship that he'd had with a woman in Utah. And so he actually gave that information to the FBI and to Michigan State Police, and so investigators were pursuing that lead. And obviously, the FBI and White House press secretary alluded to as much yesterday and in some of their public statements.
Yeah, there was a question whether it was going to be determined to be an anti-religion act of violence, which I don't. That's the term I heard used from one outlet, which seemed like an odd way of stating it, when it seems so obvious based on what they've known so far. Or are they just waiting for the full investigation as to how to define
they're
it?
building a case, right? So they're collecting a lot of evidence, and they're going slow because they want to decide. They probably want to get the maximum. They probably want to, figure out everything they can before they determine and label it as such. And they want to have everything in writing. They don't want anything to mess with that. And it's sort of curious that we haven't gotten that yet, given where we're at. It's now Tuesday, late afternoon, early evening in Michigan time. So let's see what the next couple of days bring. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have some kind of announcement from the Department of Justice or the FBI determining that this was, and what they classify this attack as. The fact that he was killed by police, that sort of changes the game, because as they're gathering evidence to present to a jury, they take all of this into account, and then those labels become very important in terms of the charges that they go for. Of course, all of that's kind of out the window, but we'll see what they do with that in the coming days.
Investigations are so very different now in the age of the internet. Once a suspect dies, was killed, or committed suicide after an attack, there is very little that could be learned from him except through other people, what he may have said to them. Now, of course, they can go into someone's computer and find out literally years, if not decades, worth of things they've looked at online. And obviously that's going to be a big part of this investigation, I suppose, correct?
That's exactly right. So they would have, quickly obtained sort of authorization to go through all of his electronic devices, phones, laptops, any online platforms he might have been communicating with others on. Of course, the push to do that and the drive and sort of the political motivation to do that, and a prosecutor driving that effort, that sort of wanes when the person is deceased. But I think it's important for the families of the victims and the survivors some of them really want to know what was going on in this person's mind. And I think, we can all learn from these stories. So this is somebody who, we learned from our sources that had served time in Iraq in 2007 and 2008, had been deployed, came back, had told others that he'd struggled with drug addiction, moved to Utah for a fresh start. But that's a little bit of that profile. But 45 years old, that's later than when mental health, mental illness, onset mental illness for men is often at a younger age. So it's unclear if any kind of a diagnosis had come in earlier. So we'll see. His father, we spoke briefly on the phone to his father yesterday, who was defending his son in terms of he didn't want anybody to make any false statements about their son. They're obviously devastated. But let's see. Let's wait and see. This is they're going slow right now. They have not put out a ton of information on this, but I'm hoping that we get some kind of report as to what was going on with his online writings, communications with others, and what caused him. I mean, this was such a horrific targeted attack. He had to plan that, bringing those improvised explosive devices. No, they weren't very powerful, but certainly effective at setting that whole church ablaze. Having that kind of firearm, having the planning to ram the vehicle in through those front doors and then get out and start shooting, and having the, setting that fire. That's planning. That is premeditation. So they're, investigators are trying to figure out why and what set them off.
Yeah. If you have a moment, I was going to ask a quick question about that fire. If you have another moment for one more question. If you have to go, I understand. The fire was so overwhelming. Was there any indication of a slow response? I mean, obviously, he had planned this ahead of time, but the fact that the church literally burned to the ground practically, were there sprinkler systems in the church? It was amazing, the devastation.
It's a great point, and all of that is still under investigations. When a structure is so consumed by fire, that investigation, it takes a long time, and there are expert investigators who have expertise in going into structures that have been burned down, determining the cause of the fire and why safety mechanisms did not work to mitigate the engulfment in flames. And so that painstaking work, and, there's an art and a science to it, because there's not, evidence was burned. So this is a really tricky, challenging investigative process. And there's a reason why the FBI stepped in to take a lead. They want their fire marshals probably to step in, and do some of that work. So it's a puzzling, troubling case, because by all accounts, neighbors and friends, they did not see this coming. The major red flags from my reporting is this one conversation that he had a week prior, which is probably pretty important to police and the FBI as they are pursuing this. And they're having multiple interviews. They are probably still conducting interviews. They interviewed more than 100 witnesses, but they are going to be talking to family members probably through the week to try to learn what red flags were missed. They also want to rule out that somebody else didn't help with the planning, or could somebody else who was aware of it, could they have flagged police? That's all part of this investigation.
If you see something, say something. That sort of thing kicks in at a time like this. That's
exactly.
That's for sure. Anna Schechter, CBS News crime and public safety beat leader. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time joining us today.
Sure. Happy to be with you. Thanks. Bye.
We're going to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to check in with Major Mike Lyons, talk about the military leadership meeting that's gotten a lot of attention. That was earlier today in Quantico, Virginia, with President Trump and Secretary of War, as he's now called, Pete Hegseth. We'll also talk about President Trump's plan for a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. But first, this is the Afternoon Drive Show on your local station, WMBS.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
Experiencing symptoms of COPD? Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale has been selected to conduct a clinical research study, and participants are needed. All study-related care will be provided at no cost, and no health insurance is required. Compensation up to $2,200 for qualified participants for time and travel. To learn more, call Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281. That's Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281.
Now is the perfect time to upgrade your outdoor area with a new fence from All Around Fence Company. Conveniently located at 7896 National Pike, Uniontown. All Around Fence has been installing quality residential, commercial, and farm fencing for more than 45 years. Offering residential fencing including chain link, decorative aluminum, steel, and more, All Around Fence has the fence for you. All Around Fence is also your one-stop shop for Nutrena products and also carries livestock, equine, and pet supplies. So if you need to upgrade an existing fence, add a new gate, or are considering the installation of an all-new fence, All Around Fence has the answers you need. Visit them Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 to 1, or give them a call at 724-439-0331. To learn more, visit allaroundfence.com.
If you are looking for a trusted local law firm with a strong commitment to their clients, look no further than Zebley Law Offices. Attorney Zebley has been practicing law in Fayette County for more than 4 decades. Although specializing in bankruptcy, Zebley also handles real estate matters, civil suits, collections, wills, powers of attorney, and more. If you need legal help, go with a name you recognize and trust. Call Zebley Law Offices today at 724-439-9200.
CareerLink is your one-stop resource for employment and training-related services. Visit CareerLink and you'll have access to many programs and agencies for assistance with economic, educational, and job-related needs. For more information on all the programs available to you, contact CareerLink at 724-434-JOBS. That's 724-434-JOBS.
Mountaintop Title and Notary can handle all of your motor vehicle and PennDOT needs, such as titles, plates, renewal, registrations, and all notary needs. Tina Nicholson of Mountaintop Title and Notary can also handle ATV and boat titles and also does income taxes. Hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 4:30, and appointments can be made for after hours and Saturdays. Mountaintop Title and Notary with a new location at 655 Nelson Road in Farmington, the only place you need to go for all title, notary, and tax work. Call Tina at 724-984-1514 for the most professional services around.
Yes, Nick, I know that's Led Zeppelin. I don't know a whole lot, but I do know that's Led Zeppelin bringing us out of the break.
Little garage band.
Yeah, they do okay.
Yeah, they've done all right.
Never saw them.
Never saw them live?
No.
They came to Pittsburgh in 76. I'm sure you were a little young.
If I'd have gone to that one, I would have disobeyed my parents' rules.
Well, you can't have that.
I would have been in 6th grade, I think.
Wow, that is young.
But I've seen a lot of bands. Of Queen, I've seen.
Oh, yeah.
When it was Queen, the real Queen.
Yeah.
And
The Who many times, your
The
favorite.
Who more than anything else. That's right.
The Stones, man.
First band I ever saw was Yes.
Oh.
Pittsburgh Civic Arena. $9.
Wow, $9. I think the joints they were passing out were more. No, I kid, kids. I kid.
No, I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
Probably right. So, I guess we should get back to the
on
show
that,
at this
on that
point.
note,
I was off target.
You were going back in time.
Join us right now on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Talk Line. Military analyst, Army combat vet, and of course, fellow with the Modern War Institute at West Point, Major Mike Lyons. Major, thank you very much for joining us today. A meeting, I guess unprecedented would be one way to put it. A military leadership meeting in Quantico, Virginia today brought in literally generals from across the globe. Is that an exaggeration?
No, it's not an exaggeration. I don't understand the uproar over this. The generals knew about it well in advance, at least 10 days in advance. It's just that when it leaked out to the public, it didn't look like there was a lot of time. I could say that the one general officer that I had access to had it as a town hall meeting on his calendar, and didn't think much of it. In fact, did you remember that movie, A Few Good Men?
Sure.
Classic. When Jack Nicholson gets summoned to Washington, D.C. to testify. He thought it was a great idea. He got to see his sister, and he did some networking. Well, this was unprecedented, but bringing all these general officers from around the globe allowed that opportunity to happen, allowed networking, allowed generals to go see their families. It was a much-needed break. Nobody went from their desk to that meeting and then left that meeting and went back to their desk. So I don't understand the hubbub. I think it's embarrassing that retired general officers tried to equate it to Nuremberg of 1935 and make it some kind of Nazi thing. And the security aspect of it is another nothing burger at all. So I think that the Secretary of War wanted everybody to feel the vibe. They heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Everyone knows the commander's intent, and everyone now moves out smartly.
Yeah, I was surprised, too. I was talking to a friend of mine who's not a general, but was retired as a vice admiral, and he said, I don't get the fuss. It's just a meeting.
Yeah. Right.
I suppose they could have done it by Zoom or whatnot, but, you can actually get together today. You don't have to have. I was once in a former job during COVID. Part of a Zoom meeting with somebody down the hall. I'm like, I don't quite understand this.
Right.
We're down the hall from each
Yeah.
other. I think everybody felt the need to do that sort of thing. But it was. And then I don't think it was a surprise the president was going to be there. That I'm sure it was part of the initial planning. And they talked about the immense security for this event. Well, anytime the president goes to the bathroom and there's a lot of security around him for crying out loud.
Sure.
So I was puzzled by all this too, unless it's just the media trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. I don't.
Yeah, it's a classic. Everything is a big deal. Nothing is a big deal. Quantico is very safe and secure. And again, it got everybody together to feel the vibe. I mean, look, he didn't say anything new that he hadn't said in separate instances. And I thought that, nobody was fat shamed. I didn't think that was taking place. I mean, nobody was fired. Nobody did a PT test, So again, it's just so disappointing that, we have to revert to this other side of this based on people's hatred of Donald Trump and of Secretary Hegseth. I get it. He's, probably not walked the earth in a lot of ways to give the kind of speech he did, but somebody had to say it. And in the past, usually the service officers, the service commanders would have done something like this and fixed the standards, but they haven't for the past 20 years. And so he's had enough, and that's why he's saying it's time to improve on them.
Yeah, I mean, we're not at war. He didn't pull people off the front line. These were not These were not people in the European theater of operations in World War II suddenly came back to America for a meeting. The whole. I was just puzzled by it too. I couldn't figure out. I said, "Am I missing something here? Is this a?" Yeah, it might be unprecedented to bring all that many people together in one place, but that doesn't mean it's not good or there's something automatically wrong about it. But yeah, the whole thing, and I'm sure at this point those in the media who try to go the other way on things probably think, there wasn't much here.
Compared to Saddam Hussein getting to his generals together, and look, if they got everybody together, handed out a piece of paper, and made them swear loyalty to Trump, okay, now you got an argument. Okay, now you got a point, but. None of that happens, and it was all about the results anyway.
Yeah, and they've sworn loyalty to whomever the commander-in-chief is when they take their commands, for heaven's sake. So
technically, that loyalty is to the Constitution. And I asked. I was talking to a general officer, and I watched him answer a question. Somebody asked him. He said, "So, what do you think about these policies that are coming out from the Trump administration? What do you think about them?" And this general did not hesitate one bit. He said, "It's not my job to pass judgment on orders that are given to me. I'm a general officer in the United States Army, and I execute on legal orders. And if that order is legal within the grounds and with the boundaries of our Constitution, I execute it on it to the full extent of my ability." And that's exactly the right answer. That's civilian control of the military. That's what we have now, and I think that's an important thing that people should understand, that loyalty is to the Constitution and legal orders coming from the civilians.
At one point, I remember years ago, President Barack Obama was speaking at one of the Academy graduations. Pretty standard thing presidents do, and somebody on the left said, "I think he went into the enemy's department." I'm like, the enemy? He's their commander-in-chief. I don't quite understand when people say something like that, regardless of who the commander-in-chief is. Yeah, I don't understand why they feel at times, whether you're left or right or Republican or Democrat, that the military might not have loyalty as you said, to the Constitution. That makes no sense to me at all.
Exactly.
Second topic I wanted to ask you about, President Trump's plan for a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Believe it or not, this sort of became second story to this military leadership meeting. But at this point, Hamas says they might be interested in it. I think they'd be interested in anything to end this. It's obviously this attack, the original attack, and the war since has not gone their way.
No, you get into the details of this 20-point plan, and I just am not sure Hamas is going to give up what it needs to give up in order to make it happen. They have to agree to release all the hostages within 72 hours, demilitarize, give up all their weapons, and then give up all their ministries, give up control of the government. This is something they've not done in the past. They've had multiple opportunities under Bill Clinton and under different administrations to do things in order to get peace in the Middle East. They've never done it. I just don't see them all of a sudden flipping a switch at this point. They're not giving up control. This is going to turn into Iraq of the United States and a hybrid war in some ways, because you're not going to see them surrender.
Yeah, and Gaza has said, regardless of what happens, Hamas will not have any role in the leadership. What's your thought on that? What's your analysis of that comment?
Yeah, they can't. I mean, this is not the same situation as you saw. The Syrian leadership now is, formerly ISIS. I mean, they've gotten dressed up. They've changed their stripes in some ways. They've become part of the political process. It's just too raw. It's too soon. Anyone involved with October 7th, I just don't see has any future with running the Palestinian people. It's going to take an international group of troops to come in, create a Palestinian police force. It's not only just demilitarizing; it's also de-radicalizing. The Palestinian children are taught very young to hate Jewish children and the Jewish people, and they grow up there. That has to change as well. So an entire culture shift has to take place.
And would the Palestinian Authority be involved at all under this plan, based on your analysis?
They'll try to be. That they don't have the same legitimacy, let's say, as other groups, because there's still a checkered past with them. It's going to take the other, I think, Arab nations to decide whether that is the case or not. You see, this board, as part of this 20-point plan, is that Donald Trump wants to sit on. I mean, Tony Blair, they're talking about an international community of others in order to try to gain a solution here. Trump's got this right in that there's a pretty important valuable piece of real estate that he fundamentally wants to develop. If he could just get the place demilitarized and figure out a way to move it forward.
Is this international, what they're calling a stabilization force, that would come out of that plan? And I guess the issue, where would it come from? I mean, the Trump administration obviously is no fan of the UN, but where would this temporary international stabilization force come out of? NATO? Or?
No, I don't think so. I think it would come out of Arab nations. I think you'd have a real problem putting in a force that wasn't from the region. I think the plan here is similar to what happened in Bosnia and in the Dayton Accords. I think that's been the model from the very beginning to try to replicate what took place then. That was actually more or less how they also would try to solve the problem in Europe in the same way. But I think that international force that you used to call them blue helmets back then from the United Nations, we've seen the United Nations not even willing to play a part in this role, but Egyptian military, perhaps Saudi, and others, because it's pretty specific. It's got to come from the region, I think.
Yeah, Palestinian statehood's always talked about. That has come up from some of our allies recently, recognizing them. How does that fall? Where does that, I guess that's the best way to say it. Where does this fall under this Trump plan?
Yeah, that's not even on the table anymore, and I don't see how it is, and that's pure virtue signaling inside of those European nations that are trying to stop Muslim uprisings that are taking place there. That's the real politic of what's going on there. It's inexcusable that Canada, the UK, and France have recognized some kind of Palestinian state. It doesn't exist. There's no leadership. There's no government there. So I don't get that on any level, and that's purely internal politics. But every time that happens, then the Palestinians now are looking for retributions. They're looking for reparations from these countries. It doesn't help. It just goes to show you that the European countries are just really not willing and able to be part of the solution within the Middle East. It's really all in the United States.
Again, joining us on the Afternoon Drive Show, Major Mike Lyons. As always, we thank you for your service and appreciate your analysis today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Major Mike Lyons on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. And speaking of which, we have a couple minutes for calls after this break. You want to give us a ring, 724-438-4593. We'll be right back.
Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling are the ones to call when you need a dumpster. Red Rooster offers fast, friendly service and provides medium-sized dumpsters that will fit your needs, whether it's a general remodeling project, emptying a house, or doing a summer or fall cleanout. Just call Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling at 724-569-0337 for rates and availability. Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling in Smithfield also offers a 5% military discount. Call 724-569-0337 and look for the Red Rooster.
John Clinton with Dominic Carbone from your 7-time President's Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Dom, let's get down to business. I hear we're having a big sale on F-150s.
Now that, JC, is an understatement. Check this out. We are taking up to $7,000 off MSRP on 2025 F-150 XL and XLT models, and you get these low interest rates: 3.9 for 60 months, 4.9 for 72, and 5.9 for 84. And yes, guys, you get both savings and the low interest rate. That's not a steal, that's a deal. John, we are making aggressive offers on all new inventory, so don't miss out. Stop, click, or call and get all the details.
Dom, along with Ford Motor Company, we are taking part in the largest dealer food drive in the world. So check this out. We're going to have a brand new F-150 in the showroom, and we're asking our customers and friends of the store to drop off all non-perishable food items to help us take part in the global month of caring. The food drive runs from the 15th to the 25th of September. Thank you in advance for your generosity. That's 40 Uniontown, on the hill across from Applebee's, or 40uniontown.com. Offer includes all applicable incentives, must finance a Ford Motor Credit, not all buyers will
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Oak Pizza in downtown Uniontown is your one-stop shop for the most unique pizzas in the region. From the masterminds behind the Fat Angelo's franchise, Oak Pizza is the laboratory where the Fat Angelo's food scientists test their creations and let you be the judge. With traditional favorites like pepperoni and buffalo chicken pizzas to more experimental offerings like the sesame seed-infused Mad Pie or the spicy chicken pickle pizza, Oak has you covered. Order today at oakpizzas.com or by calling 724-439-5805. Your taste buds will thank you.
When you are looking to make some extra cash for your aluminum cans, visit Cherokee Recycling, where aluminum can is king. Cherokee Recycling is open Monday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturdays 8 to 12 noon, closed Sundays and holidays. Give Marcus or Braggs a call today, 724-439-3228 for Cherokee Recycling, where recycling makes the most sense.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borges.
Funeral services from pre-need to at-need, burial or cremation, call Gates Funeral Home and Crematory, located at 136 North Gallatin Avenue in a beautifully restored historic home. Family owned and operated by Rick Gates, former Brownsville resident and Guyville alumni, the Gates Funeral Home and Crematory offers warmth, convenience, affordability, and ample parking. With a knowledgeable funeral director and compassionate staff, the Gates family and the Gates Funeral Home and Crematory are ready to assist you.
As we wrap up the first hour of the Afternoon Drive Show here on a very nice Tuesday out there. Right now we're showing 75 degrees outside our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios. I'm Doug Saltzman. That's Nick Barczyk.
How you doing?
Occasionally I'm told I don't introduce myself. Like we don't have those fancy Doug Saltzman.
Well, we can't afford that.
We've
but-
got to get Sapienza to do one for us because he's great at those things.
Yeah. And he's back on the morning show, thank goodness, because he has the right energy for 6 a.m. I can't really bring it, but yeah.
Oh, that's right. You were doing it.
I was on Monday, yeah.
Good for you.
Oh, gosh.
Have you
It's an
caught up
early
on your
wake up.
sleep yet?
I'm trying, absolutely. I'm waiting for the fall back. When is that? The clocks go back.
Oh, that.
That's in November.
I can never keep track when those things
Yeah, but
when those things happen. We talked about Major League Baseball playoffs earlier. The Tigers. I'll say the Tigers.
I like that.
Did beat the Guardians today. The Tribe. They beat the Tribe 2-1.
The former Indians, for those of you wondering, if you haven't caught up to the name change. And the Redskins are the Commanders now.
Right.
Yeah.
I always mix those two names up. And the Cubs beat the Padres today 3-1. Tonight, there's a game between the $500 million payroll Dodgers and the $120 million payroll Reds.
That's right.
You got to root for the Reds.
But small market teams can win. That's what the Pirates keep telling us.
That's right.
And then the Red Sox, Yankees. Tough to root for anyone there.
Yeah,
if you're a small market fan.
I dislike both, but I dislike the Yankees more.
That's right. How about Dallas did not win the other day? They didn't lose either. What a great game that was, and in a tie.
That was a wild game, and they almost blew it at the end.
They did, Green Bay. And if I were the Dallas clock operator, I can't believe they let a second on there so they could kick a field goal.
1 second left. They weren't in no hurry to get up there to the line.
That was a heck of a game, though. Wow.
Yeah,
and
that
then,
was crazy.
It's like kissing your sister, a tie, I've been told.
I don't have a sister.
Oh.
I don't know. I guess I can live with it because I just dislike Dallas so much.
Sure. At least they didn't win.
At least they did.
In Green
win.
Bay, you know.
And I'm so sick. Do they need to show Jerry Jones every fourth play?
Not anymore. If he had a cute girl sitting next to him, maybe. But God, yeah, he's.
I don't know why they need to show him.
Well, he's so out there. I mean, he's the owner, president, and general manager. I mean, it's ridiculous.
And the team's not been so hot.
No, haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years when they beat the Steelers, unfortunately. But the Steelers beat them twice in the 70s.
Super Bowl 30. Yeah,
that's it.
That was awful. There's one thing to lose to Green Bay.
Yeah.
People aren't anti-Green Bay, are they?
No, they're a small town. I mean, smaller than Pittsburgh, Green Bay.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem losing to them. You don't want to lose, naturally.
No, of course not.
But
now we have Green Bay's old quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, and he looks better than I thought. He looks good. He looked really sharp Sunday.
He throws some passes that
he has a great arm.
A third-year guy's not going to be able to throw.
No.
Just these perfect pinpoint passes or non-interceptable passes.
He's just a professional quarterback, like Ben. Maybe not the best in the league, but just knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he talks a good game. He says the right things.
That's right.
That was
3-1 going into the bye.
3-1. That's right.
They're playing Cleveland after. Should be 4-1.
Almost a quarter way through the season already.
Thank God for Cleveland.
Exactly. CBS News is next on your local station, WMBS Uniontown. I'm Doug. That's Nick. Nick with the news following national news.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. At a gathering of generals and admirals in Virginia today, President Trump shared his vision for using the military for domestic purposes. He said cities could be a training ground.
San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within.
The fact that the commanders were summoned from around the world, some from conflict zones, also raised questions about the purpose of the meeting. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
Military generals and admirals don't tend to do a lot of cheering at these types of things. It would typically be considered unbecoming. Typically, they don't attend political speeches, but that's what they heard, not entirely from the president. But I would say out of the hour or so that he spent speaking, perhaps a third to a half was relevant to them.
They sat mostly stone-faced throughout his remarks. Susan Schnall, president of Veterans for Peace, was angered by the president's words.
It is another move towards total authoritarianism and a fascist dictatorship.
A government shutdown could be just hours away, and Erica Brown reports there's little chance it will be averted.
Top Democrats and Republicans are placing blame on each other.
Democrats are on the side of the American people.
It's the Democrats who are driving America into a shutdown.
To avert a shutdown, the Senate could pass a Republican measure Tuesday that extends federal funding at its current level until mid-November. But Democrats are demanding the bill include an extension of Affordable Care Act benefits expiring this year and reverses cuts to Medicaid.
Hamas says it's studying President Trump's latest peace plan for Gaza. CBS's Deborah Patta is in Tel Aviv.
Sources close to the process have told CBS News that Hamas is leaning towards accepting the peace plan and will hand over their response to Egypt and Qatar tomorrow.
Stacey Lynn reports a federal judge has ruled the Trump administration's efforts to deport non-citizens for protesting the war in Gaza was unconstitutional.
The judge in Boston agreed with several university associations, which said the policy they described as ideological deportation violates the First Amendment. They testified that the Trump administration had launched a coordinated effort to target students and scholars who had criticized Israel or showed sympathy for Palestinians.
On Wall Street today, stocks finished higher. Investors shaking off possibility of a government shutdown. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Warm weather means you'll be spending more time outside. So enjoy your deck or patio with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made in the USA with manufacturer and customers guarantees, Lifetime Awnings products last. Lifetime Awnings is veteran-owned and operated with a 10% discount to all military veterans and their families. Call Lifetime Awnings 724-554-6067 or email John, the owner, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
Ready to update your home? Find what you need at Zen's Construction Warehouse. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff will be happy to help you the old-fashioned way. Zen's is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 2. 485 Walnut Hill Road in Continental. Zen's Construction Warehouse, 724-366-8274. Or visit Zen's Construction Warehouse's Facebook page.
Zen's Construction Warehouse. Our surplus. Your savings.
Wonder who will show up at your door this Halloween?
Surprise! Costume stores have stocked plenty of Wednesday outfits for Addams Family fans. Lots of K-pop demons are expected to be on the hunt for candy, too.
I was a ghost, I was alone.
Some trick-or-treaters will take inspiration from another Asian import. Furry Labubu dolls. And the Minecraft movie craze will be fully represented.
Chicken jockey!
Because you have to have a wicked witch or two.
Elphaba, they're coming for you.
Stores say Galinda and Elphaba costumes are already flying off the shelves. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's downplaying President Trump's climate skepticism and has thrown his weight behind the Vatican's environmental initiative. He says individual choice and the moral leadership of the Catholic Church are more important than politics. I'm Cammie McCormick, CBS News.
The award-winning local, district, and statewide news is brought to you by Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. Is it time to find a home that fits your lifestyle? Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. You'll find special savings along with beautiful, energy-efficient homes packed with features you've been dreaming about at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon, 4500 PA 51. And now the news.
And good afternoon, 76 degrees at 6:05 on this Tuesday from the Davis & Davis studios. Davis & Davis attorneys at law voted Fayette County's best law firm 2024, your local station, 590 and 101.1 WMBS. The Weather Watch and sports on the way in just a bit. A Fayette County woman is being freed from jail after being accused of starving her 2-year-old daughter to death. Young Lydia Wright was born premature in 2014 and died in 2016 with a cause of death listed as malnutrition and dehydration with a recorded weight of just over 10 pounds. The coroner said after the 2018 conviction of Andrea Dusha on murder charges that he had made a mistake in recording the child's weight at death. Based largely on that admission, Miss Dusha was granted a new trial this summer. Dusha has pled no contest in Fayette County Court to endangering the welfare of children and recklessly endangering another person and was sentenced to time served. GOP leaders in the Pennsylvania State Senate today said they want to introduce legislation to forgive the interest of payments on Treasury loans designed to help county governments and Head Start organizations get through Pennsylvania's budget impasse. State Senators Kim Ward, Joe Pittman, and Scott Martin said they want to introduce legislation in the state Senate to forgive the interest payments on the Treasury loans. It would then need to pass the state House and be signed by the governor. Last week, Pennsylvania Treasurer Stacey Garrity announced her intention to lend up to $500 million to county governments and Head Start organizations struggling due to the budget impasse. Entities will be mandated to pay back with a borrowed plus nearly 5% interest within 15 days of receiving state money after the budget stalemate ends. Garrity said she was required by state law to charge that interest. Price of gas is down 4 cents this week in southwest Pennsylvania at $3.38 a gallon, according to AAA. In Uniontown, it's $3.50. Pittsburgh, it is $3.42. The national average for a gallon of regular dropped 2 cents since last week to $3.13. Fall is officially here and bringing lower gas prices in winter blend gasoline, which is cheaper to make. And the national average, again, sitting this week at $3.13. PennDOT is letting drivers know to expect minor delays from lane restrictions on U.S. Route 219 in Somerset for the next 2 weeks. Through the 10th of October, 219 north of Somerset will see single-lane restrictions with both the northbound and southbound travel and passing lanes closed intermittently as paving is done between the Route 30 Stoystown Jennerstown exit and the Route 601 exit. The work is all part of a 3-year, $25 million project that includes paving, concrete patching, pipe cleaning, and lining, and other upgrades along 5 miles of 219 in Somerset, and they want to finish this by November of next year. Months after a driver crashed into a Fayette County post office, the building has reopened. The Vanderbilt Borough Post Office has been closed for repairs since April, but reopened to customers this week. The reopening relieves the stress put on nearby post offices who had been called upon to pick up the extra workload that was caused by the temporary shutdown. And a sick cruise ship is said to return to land.
A norovirus outbreak was reported on Royal Caribbean's 13-night Serenade of the Seas trip after departing from San Diego on September 19th. 71 passengers and 1 crew member report symptoms of gastrointestinal illness, primarily vomiting and diarrhea. The CDC says the ship has increased its cleaning and isolated those that are sick. The ship arrives in Miami Thursday. Natalie Rodriguez, Miami.
More next on WMBS.
Is it time for your first home? Or time to trade up to a home that fits your lifestyle? It's time to visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. You'll find special savings along with trade-in and trade-up deals. Imagine beautiful, new, energy-efficient homes packed with the features you've been dreaming about. Trade in and trade up at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon, 4500 PA 51. Trade-in value toward purchase of a new home determined by resale value and evaluation by home center manager. Additional deposit may be required.
In sports, the Steelers enjoying their bye week after the win over the Vikings at 3-1, and it was announced by the Steelers today that it looks like Jalen Ramsey, cornerback, and wide receiver Calvin Austin III with a shoulder are expected to miss at least several games. Ramsey tried to return against the Vikings, but he was not able to go, so the Steelers dealing with some injuries. Going into their bye week, though, their next game October the 12th against Cleveland on WMBS. We'll bring you a game Thursday evening, 49ers and the Rams at 7:30 to kick off Week 5, and the baseball postseason is underway. Finals today, Tigers beat the Guardians 2-1, while the Cubs beat the Padres 3-1. Red Sox, Yankees, and Reds, Dodgers in wild card action this evening. Penguins have a preseason game tonight. Their regular season gets underway next week.
The local, district, and statewide news was brought to you by Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. Is it time to find a home that fits your lifestyle? Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. You'll find special savings along with beautiful, energy-efficient homes packed with features you've been dreaming about at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon, 4500 PA 51.
This Weather Watch is being brought to you by Centerville Clinics, offering yearly black lung screenings, diagnosis, education, and treatment options to help you live a fuller, healthier life. And now to the weather.
Nice day today. Right now, some sun and 76. Overnight low at 53, 77 with sun Wednesday. Clouds and sun Thursday at 75, low at 49, up to 78 with more sun Friday. Plenty of sunshine this weekend. Saturday warming up to 82, 83 on Sunday with a low at 52 and 84. Sunny Monday, low at 60. So Beautiful weather on tap going into October with plenty of sunshine and no threat of rain. Highs in the upper 70s and lows in the low 50s generally the next week. Right now, 76 at 6:11 on a Tuesday. And good afternoon from the Davis and Davis studios at WMBS. I'm Nick Barczyk. On the way next, more of the Afternoon Drive Show with Doug Saltzman on WMBS.
This Weather Watch is being brought to you by Centerville Clinics, helping you live a fuller, healthier life while providing care regardless of your ability to pay. Call Centerville Clinics today at 724-632-6801.
John Clinton with Dominic Carbone from your 7-time President's Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Dom, let's get down to business. I hear we're having a big sale on F-150s.
Now that, JC, is an understatement. Check this out. We are taking up to $7,000 off MSRP on 2025 F-150 XL and XLT models, and you get these low interest rates: 3.9 for 60 months, 4.9 for 72, and 5.9 for 84. And yes, guys, you get both savings and the low interest rate. That's not a steal, that's a deal. John, we are making aggressive offers on all new inventory, so don't miss out. Stop, click, or call and get all the details.
Dom, along with Ford Motor Company, we are taking part in the largest dealer food drive in the world. So check this out. We're going to have a brand new F-150 in the showroom, and we're asking our customers and friends of the store to drop off all non-perishable food items to help us take part in the global month of caring. The food drive runs from the 15th to the 25th of September. Thank you in advance for your generosity. That's 40 Uniontown, on the hill across from Applebee's, or 40uniontown.com. Offer includes all applicable incentives, must finance a Ford Motor credit, and not all buyers will qualify.
In 1986, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville was started with a promise to provide clients with truthful, friendly, and courteous service. It worked. With an expanded client base, the Firestone Insurance Agency's customers are now able to choose from over 20 well-known insurance companies. So whether it be auto, home, business, or life, Firestone has you covered, and the promise to provide truthful, friendly, and courteous service is still in place. As an independent insurance agency, the Firestone Insurance Agency works for you. They do the shopping for you to save you time and a bunch of needless phone calls. Because let's face it, no one loves to shop for insurance. Call the office at 724-455-3900 or visit firestoneinsurance.net. Can't make it to Normalville? Let the Firestone Insurance Agency bring service right to your kitchen table. The Firestone Insurance Agency, 724-455-3900 or firestoneinsurance.net. Doing what is right for the customer, finding the most affordable rates while making sure there are no coverage gaps so you are fully protected from the unforeseen.
For professional cleaning services, Clean and Shine in New Stanton is the place for you. They provide commercial and residential cleaning, porter services, carpet cleaning, stripping and waxing, construction cleanups, and car cleaning. For free estimates, call 724-691-0413, email info@cleanandshine14.org, or visit their website, cleanandshine14.org. We clean so you can shine.
Experiencing symptoms of COPD? Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale has been selected to conduct a clinical research study, and participants are needed. All study-related care will be provided at no cost, and no health insurance is required. Compensation up to $2,200 for qualified participants for time and travel. To learn more, call Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281. That's Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281.
Shopping for replacement windows in Fayette County? Metropolitan Window Company elevates your shopping experience.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, a family-owned and operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you'll experience personalized knowledge, expertise, and professionalism from our first visit to your home until our craftsmen complete your installation.
We're the window company that people want in their homes, and our exclusive Infinity by Marvin 100% fiberglass windows are the windows people love.
They're built for life. They are the strongest, longest-lasting windows you can buy.
We have a great selection of colors and finishes. We service the entire Fayette County area and will come to your home. Visit us at metropolitanwindows.com or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
Pizza Kings in Connellsville is your go-to lunch and dinner spot with a full menu of mouth-watering pizzas and so much more. Using a deck oven helps our pizzas stay extra crisp. So if you haven't tried a slice lately, what are you waiting for? From our 50-slice King Carnivore to veggie pizzas and even pickle pizzas, Pizza King has the pie to match your taste. Pizza King's, 1046 Morel Avenue in Connellsville. Call 724-626-8343 or visit pizzakingswithaz.com.
Hour 2, or the second half, I suppose, of the afternoon drive show on your local station, WMBS Uniontown. I'm Doug Saltzman. That is Nick Barczyk. The boss just showed up for a few moments here.
Oh, boy, that's
we
not
were on
good.
our best behavior.
Did we do something wrong?
Huh?
Did we do something wrong?
I don't think so. He was just of course, he had to come in and pick up work to do on his day off.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah.
Day off on a Tuesday. Wow. Saturday and Sunday weren't enough. Get back to work, Brian. No, I kid.
I'm surprised he's not calling 3 games tonight somewhere.
Oh, yeah, soccer games. My nephew and niece are playing, I believe. But, oh, well. I'm here with you, Doug.
And Brian calls a game that your niece or nephew play in?
Yes.
Isn't it a conflict of interest?
I think
he
it
probably
is.
says very nice things about him.
Oh, he does.
Or-
He called me out last night for not being there.
Or bad things about them, yeah.
There's
Well,
that.
yeah, that's because you're related to a young child playing sports, so you have to go to every game.
Oh, exactly. Yes. In practices now. I mean, good Lord, people.
I was on, during COVID, I was on another radio station at one point, and we were talking about my daughter being in the high school band. She was in the TJ band. 2 of them were. And we couldn't go to the games during COVID. And I said, is it a problem? I don't mind missing the game because they play the same music every single week. And there was a big stink brought up at a meeting that I said this.
Oh, God.
Yeah, a parents' meeting.
Oh, parents' meeting.
Which I used to go to just for material.
Yeah, to make
talk
fun
about.
of them, yeah. I get an image of the people at those meetings, the women who go. I can't imagine.
My favorite, many years ago, I was going to a high school, and to pick up tickets for a musical. We would take my kids to musicals. When we had one kid, we'd take him to the Benedum Center. When you have a bunch, go to the high school musicals.
It's cheaper.
They don't know the
It's just
difference.
as good.
Right. And parking's free.
Yeah.
So I bump into my sister-in-law. I said, "What are you doing here?" She goes, "Oh, there's some big meeting for the this is now decades ago for the cheerleaders. There's a big problem." I'm like, "What is it?" She goes, "Well, one girl. I guess I can say this on the air. One girl who's no longer on the team wants to attend the banquet." And we have to vote whether she's allowed to go. I'm like, okay, here's the vote. No.
Yeah.
She's not on the squad anymore. Why would she go? Oh, because her mother chairs the committee.
Oh, my gosh. I would have been like, I got to see this meeting. Can you imagine?
Well, I said, I want to go to the meeting.
Yeah.
And she said, no, you can't. I'm like, come on, I want to go, please. She said, no, I'm not letting you go.
That's the greatest. Did that show Dance Moms, those women? Oh, it's great TV. It's trash. You feel bad. You feel dumb watching it because it's so stupid, but it's great drama.
I guess I can tell that story. That's like the statute of limitations on anything is long gone. This was 20 years ago.
I think it's run out.
And
now our dear leader is cutting the grass. Not many radio stations where the general manager is mowing the lawn. God love him, Brian. Yeah,
that's right. I guess we could trade that for ads with some lawn care company. I'm not sure. Jeff Gilbert's going to join us here in a couple of moments. We'll be chatting with him. And a little bit later, a guest we haven't had on. I always try to get new guests regularly. Noah Hiles, who is the beat writer for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, did a great column the other day. We still got you, Jeff. Pirates talk is cheap. It's time for action was the title of his column. And joining us right now on the WMBS Newsmakers line, of course, Pittsburgh's own WWJ Radio and CBS News reporter, automotive industry analyst Jeff Gilbert. Jeff, thanks for joining us today. What's new in Detroit?
Well, the Detroit Tigers just beat the Cleveland almost at Indians and took a lead. In fact, we beat 2 Cleveland teams this week, the Browns and the Guardians.
That's
so
right.
I'm a happy camper.
Not bad. The Steelers won this weekend. The Pirates season, oddly enough, is over.
Sure, they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, they didn't make. In case you were wondering, Jeff, the Pirates did not make the playoffs this year.
No, they don't.
But they did re-sign a favorite of Detroit, Donnie Kelly, baby.
Yes,
as
they did.
manager, so we're happy with that.
That's right. Coach Donnie got. They took off his interim tag, Nick. You said during the news. I didn't think he had the interim tag. Did he?
Unofficially.
Oh, did he?
I think he did. But
okay. Well, yeah, that doesn't come as a surprise that they kept him around. Talking with our sports analyst Jeff Gilbert. Let's talk also, if you don't mind, talk a little about automotive stuff. Of course, EV tax credits are ending today. Of course, electric vehicle tax credits. What impact will
You've
this
got
have?
5 hours and 38 minutes. So if you can find like an all-night dealership, you're in luck.
Luckily, it's not a Sunday in Pennsylvania because you can't buy cars on Sundays. This is a Tuesday.
Are they open Tuesday nights? I thought it was like Monday nights that most dealerships were open.
I used to work for a dealership. You think I would know that, but I started at 7 a.m., so I usually wasn't there. I wasn't there that late doing customer service because the customer service guys at dealerships always got the happy people dealing with them. They come in for a set of brakes, and they walk out with a $2,000 bill, and I have to deal with them.
But all joking aside, the serious point is all is not lost for people who want a brake on an electric vehicle, because GM and Ford and possibly some other car makers have actually purchased a number of electric vehicles so they could get the tax break before the deadline, and there's a loophole that lets them do that and lets them to continue to lease the vehicles after the deadline. So there will be some deals available. They'll be slowly fading out after the deadline, but they're, as far as I understand, they're only lease deals.
So these automotive industries, manufacturers sold vehicles to themselves. That's very interesting. I wouldn't. Is that what I want? I'm not being a smart aleck. Is that what you just said? They sold them to themselves.
Essentially. I mean, I don't understand the legalities of it, but they found a way to sell them, like maybe to their credit arm, and get the vehicles to dealers so that the rebate would be in effect. Essentially they would get the rebate, not the owner. There are some loopholes in the law that allow that to happen. And since they did that by the expiration date, those vehicles still have the rebate in them, but they can only be leased. They cannot be sold, apparently. So, these rebates came with a bunch of different rules and a bunch of different loopholes. So, it's been an odd situation all along.
Yeah. Now, obviously, there's no indication from the current administration that those would be brought back, at least in the next 3 months.
No, the indication from the current administration is roughly a snowball's chance in any number of places that are warmer than Pittsburgh or Detroit.
Exactly. Interesting. The EV vehicles, at times, some of the manufacturers have said, okay, we're going to keep going strong in this. Other ones have pared back. How much impact in your analysis will this tax credit ending have on the industry?
Well, at this particular point, it's funny you should ask, because you don't have to ask me. Jim Farley, who is the CEO of Ford, thinks that EV sales in the third quarter will be about 10% of the market, and in the fourth quarter will be about 5% of the market. So that's going to have a pretty big impact. But he also said today that he feels that the market has changed on EVs. The change in governments, from a government that strongly supported EVs to a government that really is not big in support of EVs, has moved the market a bit. And he sees going forwards electric vehicles being more at the lower end of the market as opposed to the $75,000 high-end vehicles, and really being more about commuter cars. So he tends to think that the market has changed quite a bit. So it'll be interesting to see what really happens.
Yeah, when these first hit the mainstream, they were not popular in the Pittsburgh region because the batteries couldn't handle the hills. And who would have thought then you would have Mustang EVs? And so it really has taken off. I guess I notice a lot of them just because, you notice something that's different from the rest. I don't think twice when I hear a gasoline engine cranking it up, but when somebody starts backing up and it sounds like a spaceship, it catches someone's attention.
And the reality is, from somebody who's driven a lot of them but never owned one, is that they are great if you're in a situation where all you're going to be doing is going back and forth commuting, and you've got another gasoline-powered vehicle or a hybrid for longer trips. They still haven't cracked the code of being able to recharge these quickly, and taking a long trip remains a bit of a crapshoot in terms of recharging the vehicles versus a gasoline-powered vehicle, which you can pretty much guarantee you're going to fill it up in 5 to 10 minutes.
Right. And also, it doesn't take a lot of planning when you're out on vacation. There's going to be a gas station around the next corner almost all the time.
Right.
The EV things, you do have to do some planning, obviously.
Right, exactly. But on the positive, if you're not taking a long trip with it, and all you want to do is, take it back and forth to work, the acceleration on these vehicles is great. As you mentioned, they're quiet, they handle nicely because they've got a low center of gravity, and you can recharge them at home. And if you never have to access the public charging system, they can really be good.
Yeah. And again, this idea that they are so easily accessible if you're staying local, if you're a city dweller, for instance, and as you mentioned, if you're taking them back and forth to work, there you go. But again, obviously a big step to have the EV tax credits disappearing. Interesting comments by Jim Farley, who was scheduled to be on our show today, but since you came along, we canceled that interview, and we decided to talk. Yeah, no problem, Jeff. We're happy to talk to a fellow from this corner of the state. Jeff, as always, we appreciate your joining us. Thanks for your analysis on this topic.
Thanks for the call.
All right. Thank you very much. That's Jeff Gilbert, WWJ radio and CBS News reporter, automotive industry analyst.
And how appropriate. We have a car guy on, and there's a car near us that...
the horn's going off.
It's going off.
Yeah.
It's not mine or yours, is it, Doug?
Well, my car's so old, I don't think it has one of those things that beeps.
Yeah, I don't think mine
but there
does
is,
either.
you could probably hear it over the air. There's a horn going off out there.
Probably Brian.
Our general manager was cutting the grass. Maybe he bumped into a car out there.
Maybe he did. We'll get on the story. We're a news station. Get out there, Doug.
I'll get out there, Red. I'll do a remote report.
I'll do the whole report, then I'll throw it to you. That
There we
happened
go.
before. I was very young back then and didn't really know how that worked.
What Nick's talking about, actually, we were in the station here. It was late during the show, and literally about 9 police cars and ambulances, fire trucks went by. And I said, well, I think I should go cover that at the end of the show. I went out to cover it. Tragically, it was a murder. And as Nick was deferring to me out in the field, he told the whole story before I had a chance to say anything.
Yeah, I did.
But it's become this ongoing joke.
Absolutely.
About a tragic situation.
Yes, it
Somebody
was.
lost their lives that night.
And DA Zappala also knows that, I didn't mean to say his name that wrong. I'm sure you've taught him about that.
No, I don't know if I've ever met. Steve Zappala.
Yeah, Steve Zappala. Former DA right now, Allegheny.
Current
Is
DA.
he still there?
Yeah,
wow,
current DA.
he's been there forever.
He lost the Democratic primary, got enough write-in votes by the Republicans, and won in the general election.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Because I went to, I used to go to a lot of these political things. I went to the Lincoln Day dinner in Allegheny County last year.
Good Republican.
Yeah. And first person I saw when I walked in was Steve Zappala. And I said, am I at the wrong dinner? And the next guy I saw was Jim Byrne. And Jim Byrne used to be the Democratic state chair.
Yeah.
I'm like, I looked at him. I'm like, what am I missing here?
Wow.
Things have really changed. I haven't been to one of these dinners in a while.
Good bipartisanship.
We've never had Steve Zappala on, but we have had Jim Byrne on.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have him on tomorrow. I'll look into that.
There you go.
I'll look into that because we're going to be with you tomorrow from right after the 5 o'clock news up until 8 o'clock tomorrow night as well.
Oh, jeez. Uh-oh. Doug's so overcome with emotion, so am I, that he's going to be on another 3 hours.
I had a cough there, so I had to tell
the
Nick.
cough button around here is just turning the mic off. We don't have a special button.
You're right. Let's work on that. We should have on those special buttons. Can't we get
just cough on it? Just shut it.
Hit that button.
Hit it.
Where was I one time? And I went to cough, and I hit this button, and I dropped the guest we had. It wasn't here. Horns are still beeping
it's still
outside.
going. We had a little reprieve from it. I don't know what Brian's doing with that lawnmower out there, knocking into cars.
I think
gosh.
he's backing up with the mower, and that's the horn that goes off, and you go backwards in the mower. You wonder what people are thinking when they listen to the show. They either get a kick out of it or they're switching dials.
Either way, yeah. Red Sox Yankees just started. If you're bored with us,
oh come on now, don't
Jeopardy
send them
I think's
away.
on Channel 11.
Oh, thanks, appreciate that, Nick.
If you want some smart entertainment, every time I watch Jeopardy, I barely get one right. If they have a sports category or maybe a pop culture,
the only thing I can figure out is how to say what is, because
what is,
you have
yes,
to give,
yeah, exactly.
You have to give the the answer in the form of a question.
Wheel of Fortune, that's Jeopardy for
kind of genius. Who
average
Griffin
minds
coming up?
Oh
with
my
this.
goodness.
Which I'm sure his estate is still making a fortune from.
Absolutely.
It. There's the story. Now, there's always the urban myths. And his accountant said, hey, I guess he got this note that they had made a major deposit into his account, millions of dollars, because of the ringtone that had the Jeopardy theme music, which he wrote himself.
He did.
And I guess he asked his accountant, what is a ringtone?
That's funny.
Here's millions of dollars. By the way.
What's a ringtone?
What's a ringtone?
Didn't Harry Truman not know what a dial tone was? Am I getting that right? Or
yeah, that's a good story. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Oh, Harry Truman stories. Oh, the listeners, the under 50 crowd will love that.
Yeah, they'll stick around. We'll explain Harry Truman and Dow Tones.
First of all, kids, Harry Truman used to be president way back in the day. His middle initial completely fabricated.
And a dial tone is something that you used to hear on what was called a landline.
That's right. You may have known he was depicted in the Oppenheimer movie everyone saw a few years ago. So
there we go.
There you go.
Stick around. CBS News Brief is next on WMBS.
CBS News Brief. President Trump told generals and admirals gathered in Virginia today that U.S. cities could be used as training grounds for the armed forces. Mary McCord is with Georgetown Law.
If you talk to people who have been in the military and have commanded National Guard, the training is for that theater of war. It's not training in domestic law enforcement. It's training in combat, rules of engagement that are entirely different than they are in a U.S. city.
Votes are underway, but a government shutdown seems all but certain at this point. Senate Majority Leader John Thune.
We are not going to be held hostage for over $1 trillion in new spending on a continuing resolution.
Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren.
We intend to use the power we have right now to help lower costs for tens of millions of people.
There is a midnight deadline on Wall Street today. Stocks finished higher. CBS News Brief. I'm Cammie McCormick.
Amedisys Hospice and Home Healthcare invite you to their 4th annual car cruise as they celebrate Hometown Heroes Community Day, Thursday, October 9th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Uniontown Mall. Bring your classic car, no registration required, and join Amedisys in supporting our community. Vendors are welcome to participate and can register their business for a free vendor table by contacting Amanda DeGespie at 724-208-9783. Gift basket donations are also being accepted and may be dropped off to Amedisys Hospice at 649 Cherry Tree Lane in Uniontown. Bring the family to this community event. Enjoy the car cruise plus food trucks, a variety of vendors, free entertainment, and free giveaways. I'm TJ DeStefano. I'll be there broadcasting live along with Arnie Amber and the famous WMBS Prize Wheel. Come say hello, spin the wheel, enjoy the fun, and celebrate Hometown Heroes Community Day with Amedisys Hospice and Home Healthcare Thursday, October 9th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Uniontown Mall. Together, we are the best in Fayette.
Concerned about your heart health? At WVU Medicine, we believe your heart deserves world-class care, close to home and always within reach. Our non-invasive cardiology team uses advanced tests like stress tests and cardiac MRI to diagnose and monitor heart conditions without surgery. Call 877-WVU, the number 4HRT, or visit wvumedicine.org/heart.
When you are looking to make some extra cash for your aluminum cans, visit Cherokee Recycling, where aluminum can is king. Cherokee Recycling is open Monday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturdays 8 to 12 noon, closed Sundays and holidays. Give Marcus or Braggs a call today, 724-439-3228 for Cherokee Recycling, where recycling makes the most sense.
Hello, I'm attorney Jeremy Davis from the law firm of Davis & Davis. We have been helping the great people of Fayette County for over 45 years with personal injury claims. If you are hurt or injured, call our law firm for your free consultation. The insurance companies are not on your side. Call us today at 724-437-2799. Either myself or an attorney from our office will personally come out and meet with you. If you're in an accident or hurt, call us at Davis & Davis, 724-437-2799 for your free consultation. Let us fight for you.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borst Jr.
Attention, active and retired coal miners. Have you been screened for black lung? Here at the Black Lung Clinic at Centerville Clinics, we offer yearly screenings, diagnosis, education, and treatment options to help you live a fuller, healthier life. We provide care regardless of your ability to pay. Call Centerville Clinics today at 724-632-6801. Do it today.
we need a little bit more variety of music. We seem to be listening to the same music coming out of the breaks a lot, Nick. Can I put you in charge
Absolutely
of
not.
that?
That is ridiculous. I reject that notion.
That's Huey Lewis in the News.
It's a great
And there's
tune.
probably somebody saying, yes, Doug, I know he played in your high school, so I'm not going to bring it up again.
All right, we'll pull up another one. Maybe we'll pull up Yes, that you're in honor of
Yes
your
is
first
good.
concert.
I like Billy Price
Billy
and the
Price.
Keystone Rhythm Band.
We left the water running. I think we played that a lot.
Not for several years now.
Is that right? All right.
It's been a while since we had 2 floods in 2 weeks here at the station.
The unofficial song of the afternoon drive show.
Drive show after a couple of our coworkers left the sink running.
Yeah. They'll remain nameless. One
Yeah.
of them, unfortunately, is passed on.
No longer with us. So, yeah, we could name. He can't complain at this point, I suppose.
Yeah,
Not.
that's true. His estate might. Does he have an estate, do you think?
I have no idea. Pittsburgh Pirates season is over. As in case you were wondering, folks, they did not make the playoffs this year.
Shocker.
And this is when the analysis kicks in. We were hoping to have Greg Brown on tomorrow, but he's emceeing a charitable event. The guy gets, 3 days off of work, and he's still emceeing charity events.
He's back at work, yeah. I'm sure he's gotten a round or two of golfing already. He's coming back from Atlanta.
So we'll see who we can get. But we wanted to talk baseball today, and then we're going to talk football. But we're actually going to talk baseball. Our football discussion will be with Matt Smith, who is the Chief Growth Officer for the Allegheny Conference on Community Development, sort of the Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce. It's all one and the same. And he was at the game, so we want to get his sense of how the game went, the impact it has on Pittsburgh. Obviously, they did more than just play football over there. It's a great opportunity to reach out and see what business opportunities might be available for this region as a result. And,
Was it true that stadium was built in the 1800s? Did I hear that?
1884.
Wow.
Yeah, well, they said that at first. It's been around since 1884, and I said...
You can't even believe that.
Well, the original photos of it made it look like it looked like an old-fashioned Forbes Field.
That's true.
Yeah, so...
I mean, Europe's just older. We're a young country. Europe is a...
Exactly.
Ireland's an old country.
It might still have the same name. It's hardly the same stadium.
That's true. Yeah, Croke Park in Ireland.
Croke. Yeah, I guess
like
Croke.
you're croaking there.
Yeah, Croke doesn't mean the same thing there.
No.
You know what I had to look up, and I was embarrassed to ask this. What language do they speak in Ireland? I guess they speak Gaelic and Irish.
Yeah,
I
sure.
did not know that. I don't know why I don't know things like that.
Well, you can't know everything.
And I
They
guess they
drink a lot
speak
of
that
Guinness.
in both Ireland and Northern Ireland, which is part of the United Kingdom.
Yeah. And they do drink a lot. I mean, I'm not saying they're all drunks. That's a stereotype, but I think they're proud of it, actually.
Yeah, how about that horrible story about the backup quarterback getting jumped and mugged?
Skylar Thompson, poor guy just trying to walk around town.
Yeah. Oh, they mustn't have... I'm sure they didn't mug him because he was a backup
No.
Steeler. How would they
I'm
know?
Sure, he was just a random criminal wanting to mug
bizarre?
someone.
He did get hurt, but thankfully not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a bizarre...
I'm sure the guy looked at the guy's wallet and said, wow, this guy has a pretty good job. I don't know if he carries cash with him, Skylar.
I
but
would hope he
we hope
doesn't.
Mr. Thompson's all right.
Yeah, that was a bizarre story
is
to
odd.
to say the least.
Criminals everywhere. Send the National Guard to Dublin, President Trump. I don't think he has jurisdiction over there.
Of all the crazy things that have happened, the local guy who does the announcing for the Steeler games,
Larry Richard, the Lindu PA. How
he's
cool
from
is
another
that?
radio station.
Yes.
We won't mention which.
But it was a Steeler home game, I thought, and they probably don't have an announcer in Ireland who does soccer, who knows enough about American football.
So he did it, and they actually announced his name on the TV broadcast, saying the stadium announcers Larry Richard from Pittsburgh, and he announced the anthem singers.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And both anthems I thought were done very well.
Yes.
They.
By the way, speaking of music and sports, I'm sure you're thrilled about Bad Bunny. You seem like a Bad Bunny fan.
Well,
do your daughters know who he is?
What game was I? Was it the Dallas game?
They announced
where
it during
kept
that.
saying, "Oh, we're going to announce it. We're going to announce it." I'm like, "Who cares?" And then my daughters called and said, "Dad, I bet you're excited, aren't you?" I'm like, "For what?" And they said, Bad Bunny's going to be... They knew I would have no clue who that is. I've never heard of that name. And I guess he doesn't sing in English.
He does not.
So, Bad Bunny, I did not know.
Perry Como wasn't available.
Yeah, I guess not.
Tommy James and the Shondells turned it down. I guess they're going for the youth demo. And
I suppose.
He's on SNL this weekend. He attracts a younger crowd.
Oh, was he on SNL?
He will be, yeah.
Okay, well, it will be yet another halftime show that I won't watch.
He'll be walking the dogs, getting pretzels maybe.
Yeah, I'll do something else at halftime. Although I tend to, not Steelers haven't been in it in a while, but I usually go skiing on Super Bowl Sunday because the slopes are pretty empty. The Foggy Goggle might be pretty busy at Seven Springs, the bar. But otherwise, it's a good day to go skiing. That's usually what I do on Super Bowl Sunday. Maybe I'll do that again. I'll do that again this year. Of course, at the end of the Pirates season, now for 28 of 33 years, we discuss about why they didn't play above 500, and to no one's surprise, that did happen again. Excellent column just yesterday in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette entitled "Pirates Talk is Cheap. It's Time for Action." And that was written by Pirates beat writer Noah Hiles, who joins us right now on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Talk Line. Noah, first time you've been on our show. Thanks for joining us today. How are you?
I'm well, Doug. Thank you for having me on. How are you?
I'm well. Nick, our producer, is going to join in on this discussion as well.
Okay.
Again, no surprise yesterday that they're keeping Donnie Kelly on as manager. Some folks were surprised, perhaps the general manager still sticking around or the president. But they're all under contract, and we've joked when the former manager was let go that the owner of the team doesn't like to pay people who are actually working. I'm sure he doesn't like to pay people who aren't working. And when you're under contract, you get paid regardless. But were you surprised that Donnie Kelly was kept on, or the general manager or president?
No, I wasn't surprised by any of this. And to your point about the contract, that guy who was let go, he was in the final year of his contract. So there wasn't much of a long-term commitment that Nutting had to worry about when they let go of Derek Shelton in May. But as far as the other moves, no, I'm not surprised at all. I knew that Nutting thought very highly of Don Kelly, as did a lot of other people within the organization. I wrote a column earlier this year where a lot of players gave me a really strong endorsement for him to continue being their manager moving forward. And as far as the Cherington and Williams retentions are concerned, no, I wasn't super surprised with either of those. Williams, the team president, surprised.
No.
Oh, did we lose our guest?
I think we did.
I'll blame
what
that
a
on
shame.
Nick.
He was on a roll there.
He was doing very smoothly,
Oh,
and suddenly
man.
we lost him. So, Nick,
What a shame.
I'm blaming you and putting you in charge of getting our guest back on the line, as we were talking with Noah Hiles of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. And I hear the phone ringing right now, so I have a feeling he's calling back in right now. We'll continue our conversation with him on his... In fact, Noah Hiles was so disgusted with the Pirates, he just hung up the phone on us a moment ago.
I don't blame him.
Yeah. You were talking about you were not surprised that Cherington was kept on or Donnie Baseball, but the Williams thing, and that's where we got cut off.
Yes, sorry about that. Maybe the Pirates have had enough of my my thoughts on this
Yeah,
situation.
they're listening in.
But no.
Well, maybe they'll
Yeah.
take some advice from us if they are.
Yeah, maybe so. But yeah, the Williams thing surprised me a little bit just because I'm not sure how many baseball execs would survive the season that they had with the off-the-field mistakes that took place for this franchise this year, especially in the first month of the season. I just thought they had a lot of bad PR, and he would kind of pay the price for that. But as far as Cherington is concerned, everything I've been hearing from the moment Shelton was dismissed and some people started to assume that Cherington would soon be let go at the end of this year, contradicted that. A lot of sources inside the organization and outside the organization kind of indicated that he was safe. And if you look at the moves he made this year, from the way they developed their prospects and promoted their prospects to the way they drafted to the way that they operated at the trade deadline, those were moves made by a general manager who felt pretty confident that he was going to return for another year.
And Noah, one of the changes they are making, they're not bringing back pitching coach Oscar Marine. I saw that today, but the pitching not the issue, obviously, with Skeens, the best pitcher in the world right now. And the lineup was just barren, though. I mean, it doesn't take a baseball expert to know that. So what changes do they have to make to that offense? And what generally do you think they're going to do this offseason on the field-wise?
Well, I have some other updates for you. We just reported at the Post-Gazette that in addition to pitching coach Oscar Marine, assistant pitching coach Brent Strom is retiring, and third base coach Mike Rebello has been relieved of his duties. And I anticipate a lot more staff changes coming, probably over this next week. I think Don Kelly wants to get a new, fresh perspective on the coaching side of things. But as far as what's on the field, I think a lot of changes need to be made. I mean, they only had one hitter who was above league average this year, and that was Spencer Horwitz, who just played his first full major league season as an everyday big leaguer. So no one should be above consideration to be replaced. I think a sizable additional investment would really help. I don't anticipate that happening. I think they're going to be able to get one competent hitter in exchange for Mitch Keller, who I anticipate being traded, and I could see them trading a few other prospects as well to try to get a second big league bat. But I don't expect a ton of money being spent. Maybe they'll reallocate some of the dollars that they saved by getting rid of players like David Bednar, by getting rid of players like Ke'Bryan Hayes. Whenever they get rid of Mitch Keller, that can be added to the pot as well. But I think their big additions are going to come via trade.
Yeah, I think the casual viewer or sports fan would say, "Why in heaven's name did they fire the pitching coach? Yeah. It was the best part of their team." There's obviously more things going on behind the scenes.
And how could they possibly have gotten worse since bringing in Paul Skeens to the Major League roster? I mean, my mom said, "How have they gotten worse since Paul Skeens got here? Isn't he the best pitcher in baseball?" I said, "Yeah, I don't get it either."
But that most people would say that's rather strange. They would fire the pitching coach.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I thought pretty highly of Oscar Marine. I mean, Paul Skeens isn't the only good pitcher on that team. Their starting rotation ranked within the top 10 in baseball in those notable statistical categories. And I thought their bullpen had a really good season as well. They have a lot of young, talented arms, and maybe they felt that it was time for someone else to take control of their development. I don't know. I was surprised by that move as well. I did not see that one coming. I don't see how it makes a ton of sense.
It's only been within the last month, maybe 5 weeks, that the Pirates did have one batter batting over the league average. In fact, if that hadn't happened, that would never have happened. I understand in the history of the modern era of baseball that you would have a team with every hitter under. But hitting it's been a trend of fewer 300 hitters, which is really a notable aspect of modern baseball, I suppose. But only 8 major league players this year hit over 300. I'm a kid from the 70s. We may have had 8 hitting over 300 at one time or another. I don't know if they made it through the whole season. Right. That's probably an exaggeration. But we had at least 5 who were hitting over 300 at some point. That's such a change. What does that need to be addressed? How much lower can they lower the mound, for heaven's sakes? You've got every team has somebody who gets pitch at least 98 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, you could point out the impressive, developments in pitching, but I think another part of it is guys aren't getting paid to hit 300 anymore. Mm-hmm. People get paid to hit home runs, and they get paid to get on base. And in today's game, getting walked is a lot easier than hitting a single. So players are going to do what they get paid to do. That's why you're seeing guys steal less bases now. That's why you're seeing lower batting averages, because the highest paid players in the game, you look at Juan Soto, who just signed that record deal last December. He is notoriously known for not having a super high batting average, but his OPS is always among the highest in baseball because he draws a lot of walks and he hits the ball hard pretty much every time he makes contact. Those are the types of hitters that get paid a lot of money now, and that's the type of hitter that most of the league is trying to be. You're going to see a couple of outliers here or there. I think Jacob Wilson, the rookie shortstop for the A's, the son of Jack Wilson, profiles as a guy who might, go against that trend and might be a guy who could be one of the last career 300 hitters if we ever see another one. But the game doesn't favor a high batting average right now.
Yeah, no, when you're around the team a lot, obviously, and just when you're around them and talk to guys. So what is the general mood? Do they know that this is unacceptable? I mean, we heard Mr. Nutting say it's unacceptable, and, he could say that all he wants, but it keeps happening. Do the players and coaches and even, Manager Kelly, do they what do they think the issue is, to just put it bluntly? I mean, do they think it's lack of talent, lack of organizational direction? What is the main issue down there, do you think, when you talk to guys?
Well, I wrote a story that ran Monday morning that kind of hit on this. I spoke with nearly a dozen Pirates players throughout the season, some with their name on the quote, some keeping their names anonymous, told me what they thought was wrong. And a lot of them believe that, yes, while they need to play better themselves, they need the organization to invest more heavily into winning baseball. And that starts with player payroll. They were all very discouraged with the lack of moves that were made this last offseason. Sure. Some coaches also echoed that point, that they expected a lot more additions. They weren't exactly sure why the same coaching staff, front office, and roster all returned for another year after failing to make the playoffs in 2024. And then when things went south quickly, they got frustrated over that investment. But it's not just player payroll. They feel like they don't have the adequate resources to get prepared for games, to stay healthy throughout a 162-game season. They feel like they don't have the resources or even the backing of the organization when there's certain things that could be done around the ballpark, such as if you have a team with a lot of speed, maybe have the infield grass a little higher so you can run out some ground balls, things like that. It seems like every time they ask for something, it's never an automatic yes. It's always a back and forth and normally results in a no. And they just want to be in an organization that feels like, where they feel that their commitment to winning is matched by the players and the effort they put in every day on the field.
I mean, the spending disparity in Major League Baseball has been talked about forever and a day, and no better time to bring that up than during these playoffs. The Dodgers have a $509 million payroll. They're taking on the Reds with a $121 million payroll, which is a heck of a lot higher than the Pirates.
I think Ohtani makes that himself.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so out of whack. It'd be great to see the Reds win this thing, and just you got a team.
Literally, the Brewers, the one seed in the National League, their payroll's not that big.
No, it's not much higher than the Pirates. You can yell about payroll all you want, but the owner's making money, and I'm sure that's why he kept the president and GM around. They're making money on this team, regardless if they're winning or not. We frequently have Lanny Fratteri on, the former Pirates announcer, who almost every time he's on with us makes the very clear statement, not off the record, on the air, that players anymore don't care if they win or lose. They're making so much money anymore. I don't know if that's the case.
I disagree with that. Yeah.
It's but it has to be frustrating. We can't talk about the Pirate season, of course, without talking about Paul Skeens. Perhaps never a more mature 22-year-old ever, considering what the Pirates, what the offensive did for him this year, did not do for him. I saw some crazy stat that if they had 3 runs a game for him, he'd had 31 wins.
My God, I don't doubt it.
It's something as simple as that.
Yeah.
And if they could hold leads. But have you ever seen a player, not just in person, but in the research you've done, that compares to what he's been able to do the first 2 years?
No, not at all. I remember last year in March, at the start of the season, I knew he was making his first AAA start in Louisville. And I drove out there Easter weekend because I just wanted to get a chance to get to know him a little bit, some one-on-one time. And I was the only reporter who went out there. And I remember watching his first AAA start. And he retired 9 straight batters. They pulled him because he had the inning restriction at that point. And I remember texting my dad saying, this is the best pitcher I've ever seen. And I'm not going to act like, I've been covering the game for 50 years. But I've been watching a lot of baseball. I played a lot of baseball. I played against guys. I faced pitchers who got drafted, and I played against guys who played in the postseason today. So, I've seen some decent talent throughout my years, and I've just never seen someone with that type of poise on the mound, and obviously the stuff is next level. And I just remember trying to tell people, whatever your expectation for this guy is when he arrives, he's going to exceed it. He's going to be one of the best pitchers in the world from the moment he steps on a big league mound. And it's ironic because I was even wrong, because he was essentially the best pitcher in the world from the moment he arrived. And it just seems like every bar we set for this guy, he exceeds it. He's a good teammate. I think he's going to even be a bigger leader next year because it's going to be year 3 for him. And just, you can depend on him. I really, really hope the city gets to see him have a chance to pitch in October, because I think it would be something special.
Yeah, people say they're surprised by his maturity. Well, you don't get accepted into the Air Force Academy unless you're a mature kid. And they don't just throw anybody in there just because you can throw a 90-mile-per-hour fastball back then. He clearly had that in his DNA from the get-go. Noah Hiles, we appreciate your taking time to join us today. We're coming up on the break. We could talk to you more about this, but we'd like to have you back on in the off-season as well. We appreciate taking time, and congrats on that column. Great column again. Pirates Talk is cheap. It's time for action. Check it out, postgazette.com. Noah, thanks so much.
Absolutely, guys. Happy to come back on anytime.
All right.
Thanks, Noah. Great job. Thanks.
We're going to take a break here and wrap things up for hour number 2 on your local station, WMBS Uniontown. I'm Doug. That's Nick. Stick around.
Feeling lucky? Your next big jackpot is waiting for you. Visit the casino at Nemacolin in Farmington, PA for the ultimate casino experience featuring the hottest table games, daily promotions, big-time giveaways, and an exciting variety of premium slots. And after, celebrate your big win with a juicy burger at the Royale while you watch the big game. Hotel packages available. Visit CasinoNemacolin.com for more information. The Casino at Nemacolin. Game on. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Mark-On Building Supply has provided the tri-state area with ready-mix concrete and building supplies for decades. Family-owned and operated and built on a foundation of trust, integrity, and exceptional quality, Mark-On is your local leader for ready-mix concrete, precast, lumber, tools, electrical, plumbing, lawn care, and general building supply needs. Visit the store in Markleysburg or call Mark-On today at 724-329-5542. Mark-On Building Supply, your one-stop shop for all your home building and construction needs.
Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling are the ones to call when you need a dumpster. Red Rooster offers fast, friendly service and provides medium-sized dumpsters that will fit your needs, whether it's a general remodeling project, emptying a house, or doing a summer or fall cleanout. Just call Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling at 724-569-0337 for rates and availability. Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling in Smithfield also offers a 5% military discount. Call 724-569-0337 and look for the Red Rooster.
Now is the perfect time to upgrade your outdoor area with a new fence from All Around Fence Company. Conveniently located at 7896 National Pike, Uniontown. All Around Fence has been installing quality residential, commercial, and farm fencing for more than 45 years. Offering residential fencing including chain link, decorative aluminum, steel, and more, All Around Fence has the fence for you. All Around Fence is also your one-stop shop for nutrient products and also carries livestock, equine, and pet supplies. So if you need to upgrade an existing fence, add a new gate, or are considering the installation of an all-new fence, All Around Fence has the answers you need. Visit them Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 to 1, or give them a call at 724-439-0331. To learn more, visit allaroundfence.com.
Concerned about your heart health? At WVU Medicine, we believe your heart deserves world-class care, close to home and always within reach. Our non-invasive cardiology team uses advanced tests like stress tests and cardiac MRI to diagnose and monitor heart conditions without surgery. Call 877-WVU, the number 4HRT, or visit wvumedicine.org/heart.
CareerLink is your one-stop resource for employment and training-related services. Visit CareerLink and you'll have access to many programs and agencies for assistance with economic, educational, and job-related needs. For more information on all the programs available to you, contact CareerLink at 724-434-JOBS. That's 724-434-JOBS.
Mountaintop Title and Notary can handle all of your motor vehicle and PennDOT needs, such as titles, plates, renewal, registrations, and all notary needs. Tina Nicholson of Mountaintop Title and Notary can also handle ATV and boat titles, and also does income taxes. Hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 4:30, and appointments can be made for after hours and Saturdays. Mountaintop Title and Notary with a new location at 655 Nelson Road in Farmington, the only place you need to go for all title, notary, and tax work. Call Tina at 724-984-1514 for the most professional services around.
And that's a wrap for the third half of the Afternoon Drive Show. We're going with you till 8 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow night, too, as well, right after the 5 o'clock news, up till 8 o'clock. Coming up in the third half of the show, Matt Smith, who's with the Allegheny Conference. We'll talk to, he was at the Steeler game in Dublin. And then Tim Murtaugh is going to join us to talk about his grandfather and why he should be in the Hall of Fame. News is next on WMBS Uniontown.
Heading toward a shutdown deadline.
Ladies and gentlemen, there isn't anything here to negotiate.
U.S. military overhaul.
The era of the Department of Defense is over.
Pending FBI cuts.
Purge inside the law enforcement agency.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The U.S. Senate fails to pass a Democratic continuing resolution as a midnight government shutdown deadline looms. A vote on the Republican CR is underway. They disagree on how to keep the government funded, President Trump insisting.
Well, the Democrats want to shut it down, so when you shut it down, you have to do layoffs. So we'd be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected, and the Democrats, they're going to be Democrats.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Democrats do not want a shutdown. We stand ready to work with Republicans to find a bipartisan compromise, and the ball's in their court.
The GOP wants to extend current funding levels. Democrats want to extend expiring health insurance subsidies. CBS's Allison Keyes.
Some federal workers gathered on Capitol Hill bracing for mass layoffs and programs that don't align with the president's priorities. Jamie Billard's husband is in the Coast Guard, and like tens of thousands of others in that service, won't be paid during a shutdown.
It's another plate that you have to keep spinning.
Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth tell a gathering of hundreds of generals they're taking political correctness out of the military.
President Trump vowed to reawaken the military's warrior spirit, beginning with the deployments in American cities.
We should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military.
He said Chicago is next. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced military promotions will no longer be based on race or gender, and new combat fitness tests will include male standards.
The era of politically correct, overly sensitive, don't hurt anyone's feelings leadership ends right now.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Susan Schnall of the nonprofit Veterans for Peace says of using U.S. cities as military training grounds.
It is another move towards total authoritarianism and a fascist dictatorship.
Sources tell CBS News hundreds of FBI employees will be separated from the Bureau at midnight. CBS's Scott McFarland says many agents left after DOJ's fork in the road offer.
Hundreds of FBI employees took the fork that means no longer working for the federal government, and their last day on the job, those who are still on the job, is today. That's in addition to nearly 24 firings of FBI agents in recent weeks.
Pfizer agrees to offer significantly discounted prices for some prescription drugs for all U.S. consumers, and the drugs can be available on a government website to be called Trump RX. The Dow finishes at a record today. Now this.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When I asked Scott Lucky if his last name had anything to do with his success in the trucking industry, he laughed and said, "Well, Mike, I guess you could say I've always been lucky." But when I asked him how he and his family grew Lucky Distribution Services into the company it is today, he didn't talk about luck at all. "We work hard," he said. "We keep a close eye on the bottom line, and we treat our people the right way." In other words, Scott Lucky makes his own luck, which is precisely why he switched to Pure Talk Business. "Last month, I paid the big guys $740 for 12 lines," he told me. "This month, I paid Pure Talk $420 for the exact same service." Thousands of businesses all over the country are saving real money by switching to America's most dependable 5G network, and luck has nothing to do with it. Just dial pound 250 and say micro. That's pound 250 micro to switch to a wireless company that works as hard as you do. Pure Talk.
Hurricanes Imelda and Umberto move west of Bermuda, and meteorologist Craig Allen says
they are likely to cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions, not only for portions of the lower coastline of the eastern seaboard, but definitely out across Bermuda.
The public schools superintendent of Des Moines, Iowa, Dr. Ian Roberts, resigns while challenging his deportation after being detained by immigration authorities. Roberts' attorney, Alfredo Parrish, says his client, a Guyana native, thought his immigration case was resolved.
We will be filing a motion to reopen the case. And once we do that, we'll be ready to rock.
ICE agents say Roberts was living and working in the U.S. illegally. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warns Russian shelling is creating a critical situation at the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear power station. You're listening to the CBS World News Roundup.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline, 800-305-6762. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-305-6762 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. That's 800-305-6762 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-305-6762.
A source close to the process tells CBS News that Hamas and other Palestinian factions are leaning toward accepting President Trump's plan to end the war in Gaza. CBS's Deborah Patta in Tel Aviv.
In Gaza, Palestinians who continue to endure bombardment, hunger and displacement remain skeptical, saying this could have been ended a long time ago.
The union that represents actors is speaking out after word that an AI-generated actress could be signed by a Hollywood agency.
While the woman who created Tilly Norwood says people are realizing that their creativity does not need to be boxed in by a budget, the SAG-AFTRA union says creativity is and should remain human-centered.
Let's get to know each other, and thanks for watching.
SAG goes on to say Norwood is not an actor, but someone trained on the work of countless professional performers without permission or compensation. Norwood's creator says she hopes to launch more than 40 AI stars. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Time on the roundup, 7 minutes past the hour.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
A man who became a familiar symbol of the 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol has reportedly filed a lawsuit.
Some reports describe the lawsuit as rambling. The QAnon shaman who wore a horned warrior outfit during the Capitol attack is suing President Trump for $40 trillion. A big change from how Jacob Chansley spoke about Trump while in prison.
I developed a lot of sympathy for Donald Trump because it seemed like the media was picking on him.
Chansley, who was pardoned along with others by Trump, also targets Elon Musk, T-Mobile, the Federal Reserve, Israel, and others in the suit. He alleges they're in a conspiracy to violate the Constitution and that he, the QAnon shaman, is the true American president. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Amazon unveils its next generation of Kindle, Ring, and Echo devices, all powered by artificial intelligence and connected to Alexa Plus, its AI-infused personal assistant. That's the World News Roundup Late Edition for Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. I'm Jennifer Kuiper, CBS.
It's officially fall, y'all, and Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon is once again opening their doors for an open house event with snacks, fun, and fantastic homes. Stop by Clayton Homes on Saturday, October 4th to grab a bite to eat and take a look at the incredible models they have available. And be sure to say hello to us, too, because the WMBS team will be broadcasting live from noon to 2 on Saturday, and we'll be spinning the fabulous WMBS prize wheel. But the big draw is the opportunity to check out the homes that Clayton Homes has to offer, including all new models ready to be explored, with spacious kitchens, spa bathrooms, and modern appliances. The homes at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon are truly everything you always wanted. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 PA 51 on Saturday, October 4th to learn more about their incredible homes and find the one that's right for you. For more information about Clayton Homes, visit their website, claytonhomesbellvernon.com.
As loved ones age, it's important to make sure that they're getting the care and attention that they need. Hillside Manor Personal Care Home aims to make your loved ones as comfortable as possible while still receiving superior care. 4 specialized levels of care and the services of an on-site certified registered nurse practitioner means that care is personalized on an individual level. At the same time, residents can enjoy a hospitable environment. Themed after a small town, the interior of Hillside Manor features a 50s-style diner, movie theater, and common areas. High-priority safety and security measures ensure the safety and protection of all residents and staff members 24 hours a day, and friends and family are encouraged to make frequent visits. If you're looking for a clean, friendly, and safe place for your loved ones, look no further. Hillside Manor Personal Care Home is ready to meet your needs. Call 724-439-2273 for more information. They look forward to meeting you.
Economy Furnace Company is excited to announce our early fall savings event. Qualifying buyers can take advantage of 0% interest financing or choose low payment options for up to 15 years. Economy Furnace is proud to be partnered with Amana, bringing you top-quality furnaces, air conditioners, and heat pumps designed for comfort, efficiency, and reliability. As your trusted neighbors, we understand the importance of keeping your home comfortable year-round. That's why Economy Furnace offers not only the best products, but also expert service you can count on. Regular clean and tune-ups are essential for your heating and cooling systems. A well-maintained furnace or air conditioner runs more efficiently, saves you money on energy bills, and helps prevent unexpected breakdowns. Beat the rush and schedule early. Don't wait until the cold weather arrives. Contact Economy Furnace at 724-438-4575 today to take advantage of our early fall savings event and enjoy 0% financing.
For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
Amedisys Hospice and Home Health Care invite you to their 4th annual car cruise as they celebrate Hometown Heroes Community Day, Thursday, October 9th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Uniontown Mall. Bring your classic car, no registration required, and join Amedisys in supporting our community. Vendors are welcome to participate and can register their business for a free vendor table by contacting Amanda DeGespy at 724-208-9783. Gift basket donations are also being accepted and may be dropped off to Amedisys Hospice at 649 Cherry Tree Lane in Uniontown. Bring the family to this community event. Enjoy the car cruise plus food trucks, a variety of vendors, free entertainment, and free giveaways. I'm TJ DeStefano. I'll be there broadcasting live along with Arnie Amber and the famous WMBS prize wheel. Come say hello, spin the wheel, enjoy the fun, and celebrate Hometown Heroes Community Day with Amedisys Hospice and Home Health Care Thursday, October 9th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Uniontown Mall. Together, we are the best in Fayette.
Hi, everybody. This is Matt Sapienza, WMBS's Morning Man, here to remind you of the letters for this week's Name It and Claim It scrambled word game. We have 11 letters in this week's puzzle, 11, and they are as follows. Listen up, listen close, and listen carefully. P as in power, W as in win, I as in isotope, O as in original, G as in gopher, P as in phone, H as in home, N as in network, R as in rice, I as in iconic, and S as in song. Those letters make up one word. You must use all the letters in your answer. No proper names, please. You want to get in on this week's contest? Well, I'm sure you do, so here's what you gotta do to enter. Just send in your answer along with your name, address, and phone number to Name It and Claim It, WMBS Radio, 44 South Mount Vernon Avenue, Uniontown, Pennsylvania, 15401. Or if you really feel like it, you can drop your answer off personally here at the WMBS Broadcast House at that very same address. Either way, make sure that your entries get in by 4 o'clock this Thursday afternoon, October 2nd. Our prize this week, a $60 packet of Pennsylvania Lottery scratch-off tickets. Naturally, this means you must be 18 or older to play, because that's how old you have to be to play literally any game from the PA Lottery. Enter as many times as you like. No purchase is necessary, because it's all from us, your local station, WMBS Uniontown, the home of the Name It and Claim It scrambled word game.
Welcome back to the third hour of the Afternoon Drive Show, the late edition on your local station, WMBS. I'm Doug Sultan. That's Nick Barczyk. I think It's 71 degrees right now outside our Davis and Davis Attorneys at Law Studios. If not, it's close enough.
72.
72.
Room temperature. And
There
it
we
says
go.
it's sunny on my phone, so you can't trust phones. It is not sunny,
No,
folks.
it's not sunny.
It's 7:15, and at this time of year, it's not sunny anymore.
No, it's not. Thank you for that detailed explanation of the sun.
You like that?
Oh, it's good. Absolutely.
Yeah, light
Absolutely.
tonight, or dark tonight with a chance of light by morning. Back to you, Doug.
Thank you very much. Speaking of the obvious, the Steelers played in Dublin over the weekend.
I watched it. No, we weren't live there though, like our next guest.
No, we weren't. We weren't live there. We tried to be live there, but we weren't live there.
Well, you don't like that kind of money.
The Steelers games were significant. It was the first, of course, NFL regular season game played in Ireland, drawing a rather paltry crowd of just 74,000 people in a stadium that was built originally in 1884.
Wow.
I don't think there's anything in Europe that's under 120
I
years
know.
old. I'm convinced. But of course, very important to the Rooney family as well. The late chairman of the Steelers, Dan Rooney, later became, of course, ambassador. I remember his son Art at one point saying, even though Dad just got confirmed as ambassador, he always thought he was the ambassador to Ireland nonetheless, because his family came from that area. Joining us right now to talk about the game experience, not an analysis of the game itself. We hear that ad nauseum, of course, post-game shows and elsewhere. But to talk about the impact of the game, what it was like to be there, the Chief Growth Officer for the Allegheny Conference on Community Development, Matt Smith. Matt, thanks so much for joining us today. How are you?
It's great to be with you. Thanks so much for having me on.
You're welcome. Yeah, you've been a guest with us before, but it's been many, many years.
Yeah.
So it's good to have you back on the air with us here. And that's on me that we haven't had you on in quite some time. But you were at the game. Beyond playing football, it was a great opportunity economically for our region from a standpoint of what it might draw back to Pittsburgh in this corner of the state. But also it must have been a heck of a generator for Dublin.
Oh, well, it was a great example of an economic engine like the Steelers being a door opener for us in an international market. And so not only, as you said, not only was it great for us to bring folks over and to be able to pitch Irish businesses directly, it was probably a very successful event for the Dublin overall hospitality market.
30,000 international visitors, not just folks coming into town from other parts of Ireland, but literally when you're an international visitor, you're not staying one night or you're not flying in and flying out for the game itself. But the thought of the 30,000 international visitors coming in and when we always talk about the Steelers playing away games, so while the Steelers travel, there's teams when the Steelers are playing on the road, they have to go to silent counts because there's just as many Steeler fans there as there are hometown fans. But from your estimation, what % of the fans at this game were cheering for the Steelers?
Oh, well, it had to be a good 80-20 breakdown.
Wow.
75% or 80% for the Steelers. And I think that was probably a combination of people from this region who traveled over there, plus the fans from Ireland and Europe who are already Steelers fans. I mean, and the amazing thing about the Steelers is they're certainly Pittsburgh's team, and we love them locally and regionally, but they are a global brand. And so they are recognized throughout the world. And for us as a business development organization, that is a very, very valuable asset to not only have in the region, but to be able to travel with to an international market like Dublin and Ireland.
Talking with Matt Smith, Nick Barczyk here on the Afternoon Drive Show. And Matt, just in general, what was it like? We were talking about the stadium. It was well over 100 years old. What was that like? And I'm curious, too, if you talk to people from Ireland, what's their knowledge of the NFL and of American football? Did a lot of the locals know what they were watching, or did they seem to be big fans? What was your take on that?
Yeah, it was an amazing crowd. I mean, it was electric in a lot of ways, from the pregame festivities, the Irish national anthem, obviously the United States national anthem, and then they even played Renegade over there. So it was a home game for the Steelers. So you had Larry Richard on the PA, you had Renegade playing, and so very, very much felt like a home game, but obviously with a different electricity with the international and Irish and Dublin crowd. And what's interesting is that's becoming a really well-developed market for the NFL. And so, while this was the first NFL game, regular season played in Ireland, I would expect there to be more. It was a great market for the NFL. And as I said, the Steelers unto themselves are a global brand. I mean, just to give you one data point, the Steelers recently released a study, and of all the mentions of Pittsburgh globally, so Pittsburgh being mentioned around the world, 50% of those mentions were because of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so I think not only is the NFL going to be a very well-developed and certainly growing market in Ireland, but the receptivity that the Steelers specifically had, and the knowledge that the fans in Ireland had about the Steelers and that brand was really, really significant.
Yeah, and even though he's from another radio station in this region, we did mention about Larry Richert earlier, you could hear him on the TV broadcast. And in fact, when they introduced, when the two anthem singers were introduced, even the announcer on NBC said, that's Larry Richert from Pittsburgh. And I texted Larry right after that happened. And I said, not bad for a kid from Millville. And there he is over there announcing the game as he does in Pittsburgh. A good ambassador as well. And it's interesting when you think about that. I thought there'd be more, frankly. I knew the Steeler fans were going to far outnumber the
Vikings.
The Vikings, thank you, Nicholas.
That's why I'm here.
Fans, although they have a game next week in London.
Against the
so
Browns.
it's not all that far away.
Wow.
It's closer than most games you play in America.
You
probably
have so much money to travel overseas,
right? Yeah. So I thought there'd be more since folks might stick around for both games.
Yeah,
and you're right. How far? It's probably a very short flight from Dublin to London for the next game as well. So no doubt the Steelers will want to play two games internationally coming up at some point. And they're taking on
the Browns.
The Browns. That's right. And the Browns don't get a bye week after that. They come right back here and they play the Steelers next. As we talked to Matt Smith from the Allegheny Conference on Community Development. The idea of these international games, and last year they thought at one point it was reported incorrectly that the Steelers were going to play with the Eagles in Brazil, right? That was a game. Yeah. Was that last year before, maybe?
Yeah.
But these opportunities to take the Pittsburgh name anywhere on the globe is a good idea, isn't it?
Oh, it's massive, and you combine that with as I said, the Steelers being a global brand, the connection of the Steelers and particularly the Rooney family to Ireland, and then the heritage that this region has and the connectivity that this region has to Ireland. A lot of our families mine included, came from Ireland, and then you bring it forward to today. When we look at the growth sectors in southwestern Pennsylvania, there are really four. There's really AI, robotics, energy, manufacturing, and then health and life sciences. A lot of those sectors intersect with each other. They also happen to be very much the growth sectors that Ireland has. And so when we took our delegation over there, we were able to pitch directly to companies from Ireland in those exact sectors, and that creates a significant value for us as an organization, as a region, to be able to travel with a brand like the Steelers, and not to mention the partnership that we have with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So we had an event over there with both Rick Seiger, who is Josh Shapiro's Secretary of Economic Development, as well as Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis. So we were able to speak from the very highest levels of Pennsylvania sports with the Steelers. Dan Rooney was on our panel, as well as Pennsylvania government directly talking to those Irish companies about the value prop that southwestern Pennsylvania has for them.
Yeah, I was thinking during the game at one point, I said, man, I'm glad I'm not a Vikings fan. Because I'm sure they were saying, if I hear one more thing about there being more Steeler fans at this game, or about the Roonies,
all the terrible towels,
it would have driven me crazy, I think. So I'm glad I'm a Steeler fan from right here, and born and raised in southwestern PA. But it really must have been just walking around Dublin. I talked to a couple people who were there, who said it was as if you literally were walking around Pittsburgh. There were so many clearly Pittsburghers, and he said, "I'm sure not one Pittsburgh fan was there that wasn't wearing something that said Steelers on it."
That's so true. There was you walked around the streets of Dublin, and you invariably ran into someone from Pittsburgh, and as you guys know, Pittsburgh fans are not shy about wearing the black and gold, whether that's whatever sport it is. In this case, it was obviously the Steelers, but there were a lot of Steelers jerseys from both current players as well as former players, which was great to see on the streets of Dublin.
And we have to know, Matt, the Irish drink as much as we think they do. What was that scene like? I mean, is that just a stereotype, or what was going on over there? I got to know.
Yeah, I would definitely say the Guinness tastes different in Ireland, and there was a lot of Guinness flowing, at every pub that I frequented.
That's wonderful.
And I'm sure you frequented those pubs only for research purposes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you weren't imbibing.
No, I'm sure that was very good of you, Matt, to do that. I thought it was a tough task. I would have done the same thing.
Of course. Some corned beef and Guinness.
My mom would always say, we can celebrate St. Patrick's Day because the Saltzmans, who are almost 100% German, we figured out at one point we're 1/32nd Irish.
Oh, that's big.
Which it doesn't give us a whole lot, but I do like dark beer, so I could drink a Guinness.
Good for you. Yeah, it's good.
That's it was such a great opportunity and a lot of excitement. A lot of people. I was waiting in line at Brugger's Bagels in South Park at about 8 o'clock in the morning. A line of people. I'm sure we're getting Brugger's to go home, getting bagels to go home and watch the game. Even our priest at 8 o'clock mass said, "Well, I got you out of here on time. Go home and watch the game. Go Steelers." Because he's 100% Irish, for heaven's sakes. But we appreciate you taking time to talk to us. A lot of folks in this region, of course, are familiar with the Allegheny Conference on Community Development. But why don't you take a moment before we let you go just to tell folks what the conference is?
Yeah, we are the 10-county region, so southwestern Pennsylvania's economic development organization. So we attract business investment to the region. We go out, and, like in this case, and try to bring companies into the region. And then we're also very focused on capturing the next dollar of investment from companies that have already planted roots in the region. So we're really all about growing the economy, implementing public policy that supports economic growth to allow us to attract external business investment and grow companies that are already here.
And the last time we interviewed you, you were president of the Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce, Greater Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce, which, of course, is part of the Allegheny Conference. And near and dear to my heart, I was manager of governmental affairs for the Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce years ago. I was their lobbyist and spent a lot of time working with local companies.
Absolutely. Doug, we have a proud history at the conference, and the Chamber is one of our affiliates and focuses on public policy. I mean, you know better than anyone the importance of really, really sound and strategic and thoughtful public policy for attracting business investment. The two go hand in hand.
And, of course, you work with the chambers around the region. We frequently interview the State Chamber of Business and Industry, and they always say, we're not competing with those other chambers. We want you to join both. The Fayette Chamber of Commerce, the Pennsylvania Chamber, et cetera. All parts.
We always say economic development is a team sport, much like football. You need all the players and all the positions swimming in the same direction.
Exactly. Matt Smith.
To totally mix metaphors.
Matt Smith, Chief Growth Officer for the Allegheny Conference on Community Development. Thanks so much. We appreciate your sports analysis. We'll put you down as a sports analyst for the Afternoon Drive show.
That's like a dream job for me, so I appreciate it.
We'll have you back on.
That's right. Thanks,
all right.
Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Matt Smith, who at one point was a state senator from the 37th senatorial district. I worked for a state senator in that district, before him and after him.
Wow.
Mike Fisher, Devlin Robinson.
That sounded like fun. Next time the Steelers go international, we have to go, Doug. I don't care how much money we have to pull out. We'll find it in the couch cushion.
My nephew looked into it.
Oh.
One person.
Yeah.
And you couldn't just go and get one night of a hotel. I'm sure you had to stay 5 nights if you want to get hotel reservations, and the tickets and the airfare and transportation, meals, over $4,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was just no way you could do it any cheaper. But that's great.
Well,
it was. If I were a Viking fan, I'm like, oh, I'm so sick of hearing this.
I know. I guess it's better than that dumb skull thing they do where they clap their hands. But I guess to them, what we do is dumb. But that's the great thing about sports.
And I thought the same thing the day before watching the Penn State game. All they talked about was the whiteout nonstop.
God. What an atmosphere that was. It just jumped off the TV, and unfortunately they lost.
Yeah,
Oregon's good.
I've been up there for whiteouts. It is absolutely amazing.
It gave me chills just watching on TV.
The color commentator for that game, of course, was
Todd Blackledge.
Todd Blackledge. He said, "This, I know I'm biased, but Penn State has the best student section there is.
He was a quarterback for them in the 80s. Yeah.
He,
it was so
I
great.
think he does a nice job, too.
He does a great job.
Yeah, he does a good one. I thought they called that fair.
Oh, it was just it's so good, that whiteout.
Yeah, and they didn't win.
No, Oregon's good. They have a great quarterback. He may be the best one in college football.
I was surprised. I thought they were going to drop out of the top 10 because there's so many undefeated teams right now. Hey, we're coming up here in just a couple of moments on the CBS News Brief. And walking into the studios, Matt Sapienza at 7:30 at night.
A little early.
You're either early. I thought you'd be in bed by now. Don't you get up at like 2 a.m. or something? Matt, come on in here. You're not usually around here this time of day. Sit down and say hello. In fact, Matt is so important to this group. We're just going to skip the news and talk to Matt.
Wow. Well,
is that
it's not sponsored, so we can do that.
Okay, it's not sponsored. Hello, Matt. Turn him over there.
Hi, Doug.
What are you doing here this time of night?
I was just actually going for a late night workout, and then I was going to go to bed a little bit late.
I was going to say, what's the matter with you? You're up.
I know this is.
I thought you were showing up now. Now, if it were Jim.
Morgan,
I wouldn't be surprised he'd be here this time of night.
No,
I was going to ask if you were watching the Mets in the playoffs tonight, but they didn't make it. So
don't.
At least they won more games than they lost.
Don't even.
Yeah, that's right. The Pirates didn't make it either this year.
No, they didn't.
That. Yeah.
The
Matt, of course, is a New York native, and I have no problem with the fact that you root for the Mets. You root for your hometown team.
Of course, yeah. And
I have a big problem with it. No, I don't care.
It's
well, Nick has lots of issues.
Go ahead, Matt.
No, but the moment I said the Mets didn't make the playoffs, I was like, this is probably the most Mets thing that you can do.
And the
Jets lost last night, so it's been a rough couple of days for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Earlier we had Jeff Gilbert on who said the Tigers won and the Lions won the last 2 days.
They did beat Cleveland twice. Yeah.
So that's right.
Always good to stick it to Cleveland.
Yeah. We got to root against the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Red Sox.
That's true. Yeah.
I want to see the Reds. I might root for the Reds.
I reluctantly.
What are you, communist?
Yeah. Those Reds. Yeah.
Last World Series, I reluctantly rooted for the Yankees naturally because it's like if you root for the Eagles in the Super Bowl here, where it's like a win for the Eagles is a win for Pennsylvania. I was like,
I'm sorry. Philadelphia should be their own state. We should annex
their own county.
Annex is bringing them in. We should de-annex them. Whatever.
Is that right? Cut them off.
I don't know what. Or is that some sort of medication you take if you have antacid? Isn't that?
I think
that's Xanax. That's
Monjaro.
That's something entirely different.
No, Nick is right because I'm also unfortunately a New York Jet fan, and I only saw the first quarter of the game, and this is my thing with the New York Jets, right?
This is the thing. Stand by.
Yeah, stand by. This is my football
take. We need some
take.
sort of music. Go ahead.
So,
only had a good producer.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
The Jets, they're 0-4. I mean, there's only one game where they really truly played bad, and that was their game against the Buffalo Bills in Week 2 when they went 30-3, and it was not good. But it's not like they're not putting points on the board. They just keep finding ways to shoot themselves in the foot. So I'm like, it's no wonder.
I hope just figuratively.
Yeah, they're not literally.
No, they're not. They're not literally shooting themselves in the foot. But that would require some bandages there.
This is the NFL team grades for September. Only 1A did Michael Middlehurst Schwartz. There's a long name from the USA Today. And they handed out 1A, went to the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
Steelers got a B-.
Oh, well, there you go.
The Buffalo Bills are absolutely
really
deserving of that A.
Josh Allen's awesome.
So we'll see what happens. Only 1A. The others, there were A-. The Steelers came in, as I mentioned a moment ago, with a B-.
Hey, in my house, a C earned you a trip to Dairy Queen. So, hey, I'm good with average.
Absolutely.
C's get degrees. That's what I was told during college.
Oh, that's very smart.
That's cute. Yeah, I like that. He's very smart.
Matt's very smart. Not much to look at, but, he's a smart guy.
That's true.
He's made for radio.
We were talking earlier. People say I forget to introduce myself. I don't have those exciting liners. We need you to make a couple for us.
Sure.
Yeah, make some of those.
I'm good with production.
I know you are. Very good. I haven't a clue, frankly.
Well,
I just yammer on the air.
Just a yammerer.
Yeah.
Well, get some opens for Doug there.
Well, you better get home.
I'm on it.
You better get home
That's
before
true.
you get in trouble for not getting to bed on time.
Absolutely. I made that mistake last night.
Well,
I'm not making it again tonight.
Scaring us here. We didn't know what was happening.
We'll see you, Matt.
People wander in here at night. We don't know who they are.
Enjoy your push-ups or whatever you do.
Matt Sapienza joining us here on the late version of the Afternoon Drive Show on your local station, WMBS. When we come back, we're going to talk some baseball, but specifically old-time baseball. Danny Murtaugh, of course, is the late manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates, who should be in the Hall of Fame. We'll talk to his grandson, Tim Murtaugh, who's a public relations and communications expert. But first, This is the Afternoon Drive Show on WMBS.
Faith in Blue is back. The annual kickball tournament at Bailey Park in Uniontown connects local law enforcement and faith leaders with the community in an inspiring and family-friendly setting. It is an event that promotes unity, community pride, and most importantly, fun. Faith in Blue will feature free food, games for the kids, photo ops, and, of course, the kickball tournament. To register players, which include children ages 6 through 12, in the October 11th tournament, visit myfaithassembly.churchcenter.com.
For professional cleaning services, Clean and Shine in New Stanton is the place for you. They provide commercial and residential cleaning, porter services, carpet cleaning, stripping and waxing, construction cleanups, and car cleaning. For free estimates, call 724-691-0413, email info@cleanandshine14.org, or visit their website, cleanandshine14.org. We clean so you can shine.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the better business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
WMBS.
I want to thank Matt Sapienza for stopping in. It's always nice to see Matt hanging out here this time of night. Good heavens, the guy gets up at the crack of dawn, does a great job with the morning show. We got a good group around here. Matt brings a lot of energy to that morning show. People probably wonder they're at home, brushing their teeth, shaving, and thinking, how does this guy have this much energy, for heaven's sakes? And then, of course, it's in the afternoon. We've got TJ, who does a great job with the news at noon. Tough to talk for an hour straight when when TJ does that noon news. That's for sure. Hey, we want to thank Matt Smith for joining us a few moments ago, too, giving his take. He's with the Allegheny Conference, the Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce, on his take on the Steelers game in Ireland, which really did look like a home game. Good heavens. But joining us right now, we talked to him. It's been a while since we've talked to our next guest. We always like to check in with him. If the last name sounds familiar to Pirate fans, there's a reason for that. Tim Murtaugh, public relations and communication consultant in politics and also in the public sector. No doubt has a good name for his firm, Line Drive Public Affairs. He is the grandson of the great Danny Murtaugh. Tim, how are you? We haven't talked to you in a while.
I'm doing well, Doug. How about yourselves? It's good to talk to you again. Thanks for having me on.
Good to talk to you, too. The Pirate season is over. Rarely was it over without getting into the playoffs during the days that your grandfather was the manager of the Pirates. My being a kid from the 60s and 70s, you just assumed the Pirates were going to do well and back in those days. 6 division titles in the 70s, 2 world championships. Of course, your grandfather was the manager of the 71 team. I don't know if we'll ever see that sort of dominance ever again in baseball. But, man, those were exciting times. You're younger than me, but no doubt you've heard the stories about the great Pirates of that era.
Well, yeah, I have. And I remember some of them a little bit. It's nice of you to recall that era. I'm the oldest of 6 grandchildren for Danny and Kate Murtaugh. And so I was 7 years old when he died in 1976. So I have the clearest memories of him. But although I got to tell you, I'm not sure if all of the things that I think are memories are really actual memories, if you know what I mean. Like, I may have picked them up throughout the course of my life. I'm 56 now. Through the course of my life as stories about Grandpa, and somehow over the years they've turned into, false memories, really. But I've grown up with him as a major presence in my life, even after his death. We go to Pittsburgh quite a bit, go to a lot of Pirates games, still probably about a dozen Pirates games a year, most of them in Pittsburgh, but sometimes we visit him in other cities. And it's just really great that people still remember him after all this time. And, like we talk about, I think he is worth